Get nasty on a Monday. It's the Fast Lane on 101 ESPN. Andrew Marsh, Carey Davis, Jamie Rivers, I'm Anthony Stalter. 204, your time check is brought to you by Clarkson Jewelers, an officially licensed Rolex jeweler. Boys, it's good to see you.
Hey,
Yeah,
good to see
welcome
you
back, buddy.
I enjoyed some downtime with the family, but I also was telling you guys in the office that I had an opportunity to listen to some of the podcasts from you guys. And
Oh, boy. We're sorry about that.
no, you guys are funny.
We do apologize.
It's a damn good show.
We like to think so.
I was dying when you guys, when Marsh brought up CMU.
No.
And you guys thought of me, which I appreciate.
Definitely did.
Marsh was definitely thinking of J.J. Watt.
Yeah.
You're our most famous
I
person
appreciate
from CMU.
I
Most notable
appreciate it.
alum.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's who you are.
No,
man.
thanks, guys.
He's like, yeah, I was talking J.J. Watt. We're like, oh,
yeah.
I pointed over to the empty seat. I'm like, they were like, oh, man, I feel terrible.
That was hilarious. All right, Cardinals, their win streak was snapped, but they did win the series against Cincinnati, so they follow up the sweep of the Chicago White Sox by taking 2 of 3 in Cincinnati. And Saturday's game could have really turned the tide for them. Obviously, things could have changed yesterday, but they came back. Arenado hit the game-tying home run in the bottom of the 9th after the Cardinals. They were leading the entire game. Burleson led off. Not led off the game, but the first inning he had a 2-run shot, and that held up for a while until the Reds eventually tied it, and then Ella De La Cruz. Steven Matz got the ball.
It was hot, Jamie.
He's had a couple of tough goes here
Yeah,
recently.
it's hot. It's hot in
It
St.
wasn't
Louis.
hot the time before. He was in
hot.
Chicago
It
where
was
the
very
wheels
hot.
fell off.
Yeah, that's true.
It's hot in Chicago,
I know
too.
it's hot here, Anthony.
It's hot in these rhinos.
Okay. I got to follow up to that.
Ella De La Cruz threw up, then hit a 2-run jack. But Arenado tied it in the bottom of the 9th, and the Cardinals wound up winning that one. Then that set the series up. So my biggest takeaway was yet again the resilience that has been on display for the Cardinals this season. Time and time again, they've been able to rally back with their offense, and I almost feel like right now it's almost an identity of the Cardinals in 2025.
I think so, and I said it a couple of weeks ago now. The best compliment that you can give this team is that the game is never over. You can't turn the TV off. You can't assume they're down by 3 runs, down by a run, late in the 9th inning, whatever the case may be. You always, this year's version of this team, can assume that they're going to fight their way or claw their way back into a game, and more times than not, win it. So it's been, that to me is probably the best thing that I can say about this club this year is they are in every game. They're not getting blown out of the water, not getting the doors blown off. They are fighting their butts off night in and night out, day in and day out to find a way to win games.
Guys, it's fun baseball to watch. Like, let's be honest. For a couple of years, not all that fun to watch Cardinals baseball.
What?
Even when they were still limping into the playoffs, there were long stretches of not that much fun to watch baseball. I can't say that about this year. Even when they lose, you know, the brand of baseball that they're playing is pretty good, or even if they get blown out, like, it is what it is, but they come back. Like, you don't shut the TV off after the 4th inning.
No.
Like, Cardinals Cardinals down 3-0 really in the second inning.
We're done. Something else to do.
I'm done. I'm out and walking the dog and playing the air, whatever. But now, like, you find yourself, like, still hanging on, and then, like, you hear first and third, Alec Burleson coming up. Like, oh, now you got to find a TV quick.
Right.
Because Burley right now is must-watch.
Yeah.
So I'm having a good time watching it.
Even when it was 5-2, we drove back on Friday and Saturday, so we were still in the car, and I had an opportunity to listen to the entire game on Saturday. And even when the Reds got up 5-2, they added an insurance run, I think, in the 7th inning?
8th inning.
8th inning, thank you, Carey. I'm like, man, I'm going to stay with this. No reason to flip over to music right now. I'm going to stick with this because the Cardinals have had something going almost every game that they have been trailing in. And sure enough, they get the 1 run back and then eventually tie it up in the 9th inning. You're right, Jamie. This team has been extremely fun to watch of late. Any other big takeaways from the weekend series against the Reds?
I thought Andre Palante probably quieted a lot of critics, you know, because going into that start with McGreevy having a good start again, and naturally you have Cardinals fans wondering, well, is Palante pitching for his life now? Because McGreevy's nipping at his heels. Meanwhile, I have been steadfast in thinking that you can't have a rotation with McGreevy or Palante. You need McGreevy and Palante to be in there for the Cardinals to be successful for this year and moving forward. And Palante went out there and pitched really well. He's just solid, man. Like, he's nothing flashy. He's not going to win you a Cy Young. He's not going to win, the strikeout king. He's just a solid pitcher.
For me, you talked about him, Alec Burleson, just continuing to find a way into this lineup every single day, doing a fantastic job. He went 0 for on Sunday, but going into that game, you can have a day or two when you don't hit the ball. He's been pretty good, Jamie.
Too harsh?
Yeah, look.
No, I don't think harsh enough.
Thank you. don't encourage him. He was doing good.
We expect greatness.
He was doing good for the last week. He was okay.
I got to jump in.
Not really. You had some moments. We both did.
For sure.
But no, Alec Burleson, hitting in the 3-hole, he's found a everyday role. We were talking about this. Which one of these players, Jordan Walker, Nolan Gorman, Alec Burleson, which one of those guys were going to find themselves in the game every single day? Now, Von Herrera's injury has assisted with that, but and some of the injuries that Brendan Donovan dealt with, some injuries, but you are forcing your way into being in this lineup every single day by the way that you're playing. And that's one of the things we talk about. Nobody's going to give it to you, especially coming into this season. He has earned his right to be in this lineup every single day.
Uh-oh.
No.
Sounds like somebody might have called this last summer.
You called what?
This guy's developing into a St. Louis star, Anthony. Look at this guy.
In April, we couldn't find Marsh.
No.
When we brought up Alec Burleson. Now Marsh is right back in our faces with the St. Louis
As
Star
he should
stuff.
be.
As he should be. Absolutely. Speaking of face and Marsh, I didn't hear it.
Yeah.
When's the date
Oh, they're
set?
so bitter, Anthony.
When's the date set
Marshy,
for
what are these guys
the
talking
Ryan
about?
Day look?
Marshy almost wanted to fight me in the office because I suggested that we do it Monday when Anthony comes back. Well, I'm not doing it. I got a thing. I got some stuff I'm not doing it.
Your wedding was last weekend.
No.
It was 2 weekends
Or 2
ago.
weekends ago.
Yeah.
He's got something else going on. It's fine.
Do you
It's
have
fine.
another-
I got a thing going on. Plus, look at this. This isn't.
But we told you not to shave it in the first place when you did.
I was going to a wedding, Jamie.
Oh, I see
I
lots of
had to
beards at
look
weddings.
nice.
Okay,
but
so
my
you
beard
are-
wasn't up to snuff.
That's okay. So you are growing it out.
Yes.
Okay.
I think we came up with a date for next Monday.
Yes.
Next Monday.
The 30th?
Next Monday.
Is that the 30th?
Yeah, I guess.
Oh, here comes Carey.
No,
4th of July?
no, it's not
fine.
the 30th.
It is the 30th.
No, because I think this Friday's Freedom Friday.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, duh. It's the last Friday. My bad. It's the last Friday. That's on me.
No, the shortstop has
No, the
to lead
shortstop
off.
has to lead off. That's on me. My bad. For some reason, I was thinking it was the last
same
date.
thing he did when he made the crazy
Yes.
bet on the Friday. He's like, yeah,
It's almost like
over.
It's almost
No,
like Freedom
actually-
Friday marks the last day of the month for us. My bad. Yes, the 30th is Monday. Oh,
Yeah,
boy.
I think we're going to have a ceremonial just for men party.
Good.
And then we'll see.
I was okay. I'm okay with it. I was a little distraught reading the box, which says that it stays black until the gray hair grows back in.
So it's going to be a little bit.
Or you can shave it off after 5 days.
You
See,
could.
Carey has that. I have no problem shaving my beard. But Carey is like.
You've done
When
it,
was the
though.
last time
I
we saw
had
Carey
beard.
without a
Last
beard?
year.
Yeah, it was
I
last
shaved it
year.
off.
Yeah.
Been a while.
Yeah.
Been a while.
Because I remember you saying you looked
I look
exactly like your
father.
dad.
Like
Yeah.
it, and some of my friends are like, all right, my dad is passed on.
Sure.
Now, to tell you, it's kind of freaky. I would tell you all this as well. My dad has a twin brother. Right?
Wow.
So at my
Can we
dad's
get him in
funeral,
here?
yeah, he lives in San Diego.
That's
at
a
my
little tough.
At my dad's funeral, people that didn't know my uncle lives in San Diego. They look exactly like
Oh, my
identical.
gosh.
Oh, wow.
People were walking into my dad's funeral and almost passing out because
Yeah.
I was walking with my uncle, and they were like, "Oh my God!" I'm here for a funeral for Carey Davis. Who the hell is that man?
Yeah.
That's Terry Davis, my uncle. Wow. And so
Are you a junior?
yeah, well, we don't have. My dad didn't have a middle name, so they called me Little Carey. Little Carey.
Or Eric.
Yeah, or
Or
Eric.
Eric. Yeah, that's
Eric
another one.
Davis.
Yeah, but no. So when I shaved, I did look like Big Carey.
Yeah.
And people were calling him, again, what's going on here? Why are you posting a picture of your dad?
That's actually unbelievable.
No, they were, when they came to my father's funeral, they were literally, I had to grab a few, hey, this is my uncle. It's okay. My dad's over there. It's fine.
It would have been great.
You see him.
He's over there.
It would have been great had Uncle Terry not shown his face at all.
No,
and then as we're in the church or whatever, you're talking and be like, we have somebody here who'd like to do the first reading.
God. It would have been awesome. It would have been, Jamie, when I tell you, people were so afraid. Like, imagine, and they look just alike. Same size, same weight. Like,
It's amazing.
They are identical, literally. So when you would see him, you'd be like,
This is weird.
Even
The
me.
greatest prank.
So
no kidding.
even me as an adult, like I remember my Uncle Terry came in town one day when I was at my daughter's softball game, and my Uncle Terry walked up. I didn't know he was in town. And it took me a minute. I looked at him like, that ain't my dad. I was like, Uncle Terry.
That is great.
Man.
Yeah. So, yeah, shaving my beard off, I prefer not to look like my father. So
But you could.
I'll let it grow out if I need to.
All right, so the Ryan Day punishment, which is pretty light in comparison to some of the other punishments
Yeah, you
we've
guys,
done,
I don't want to hear
or,
it.
like the
Because
ratio.
if
The
I
soup
had this-
would have been terrible in this hot-ass studio.
It would have been.
Yeah.
Would have been bad.
Yeah.
It would have been bad.
But Jamie would have had the roughest
I would look
Ryan
like
Day
a
look.
moron. I would look like
That's
a
why we
moron.
did it.
I know, but shame on you, and the hockey gods got you.
One of my favorite things from New York was just the text messages as the Panthers game with the game 6 was going on. And when they got up like 4-0, whatever it was, Jamie and I were still like, no, worst lead in hockey.
And we talked about that last
Yeah, we
week.
did.
I stopped watching. What was the final score?
Jamie, the Oilers came back, but it ended up being 5-1.
The Oilers come roaring back.
Came roaring back.
Came roaring back.
Yeah, you pissed me and Marcy off with that text.
Did I send that same night, or was it the next morning?
Hoisting the cup when you said it.
It's the best ever.
Terrible people you are.
Well, you guys went against Matthew Tkachuk.
I didn't think the Oilers were going to win that bad. I just, Oilers. And then we're like, well, maybe we should, dye our beards. And I was like, oh, crap. Like, I don't like them that much.
You were only lukewarm on your
I was
prediction.
lukewarm until that got
That's
brought
a
up, but I couldn't go
lukewarm-
back on it.
It's a lukewarm punishment. So
Really is.
it's Fast on 101 ESPN.
Easier said when you're on the other side.
Yeah, I know.
It's true.
Sure is.
Yeah. 216, your time check is brought to you by Clarkson Jewelers, an officially licensed Rolex jeweler. By the way, my buddies sometimes listen to the show, and my one buddy, Josh, he was like, he's like, I'll be honest, I wanted to see this on you, the Ryan Day. He was rooting for the Oilers.
My friends said the same thing.
Yeah.
They said the same thing when I went to Minnesota. They're like, hey, I hate to be evil, but kind of rooting for the
wanna see
Panthers
this.
here. I want to see you with a jet black beard. I go, I don't know if I want to be friends with you anymore.
All right, how do we feel about the Thunder winning Game 7?
Probably better than they do about winning it.
Yeah, right? Yay.
Oh, I got to win this
Won
thing.
here.
Oh, darn it.
Thunder disappointed they won. Tyrese Halliburton, of course, injured in the first quarter. Carey sent out the text immediately. Was like, that's an Achilles, and you were right. Yeah. So, were we cheated out of potential great Game 7? We'll get into it next on 101 ESPN.
Thunder have taken the NBA by storm. For the first time, the NBA champion resides in Oklahoma City. The storybook season is complete.
It's the Fast Lane on 101 ESPN. So the Oklahoma City Thunder win the Larry O'Brien NBA championship. And Jamie, as you had mentioned, kind of a subdued championship for the Thunder. You would almost have thought that they didn't actually win the damn thing.
Like, if it was 4 straight, I could see it's anticlimactic for the team. You know, you're beating the wheels off the other team. It's just like, okay, you know, don't want to be like in their face too much here.
Sure.
But you went to 7 games, and then they made a push at the end, like made it interesting enough at the end to where you think, and by the way, OKC has never won it before.
Right.
In the history of their franchise. And you react like it was a preseason game. You know?
So when I'm watching it, obviously Halliburton going down, Tyrese Halliburton going down, tearing his Achilles in the first quarter, I felt sick for him, for the team. You make it to Game 7 with the expectation. You are a team that has fought, clawed, done everything you can. You beat the hell out of the Thunder in Game 6 to force a Game 7. And to get to that point and him tear his Achilles like that, it was heartbreaking. It was heartbreaking for the entire team. They had a little bit of momentum right until halftime, and then the water was cut off after that once the third quarter started. But I think it was 2 reasons why. Well, obviously the injury to Halliburton is partially why the Thunder celebration was subdued, because you never want the best player on the opposing team. You want to win a championship. You want to win, and if the guy you don't want him to get hurt like that. Like, you don't want it to be, you don't want people, listen, you don't want people,
Who did you
I
play
want
in
to
the
win.
Super Bowl again?
I want to win.
Who did you play?
The Arizona Cardinals. And if Kurt Warner had gotten hurt stepping out of the shower,
celebrated.
if he'd have gotten hurt stepping out of the shower, going to the game, I'd have been like, man, that sucks for him.
But Halliburton didn't step out of the shower.
If he would have got hurt, got sacked and hurt his elbow, it sucks for him. It would have. I still want to win.
Still counts.
It still counts as a dub.
I'm just watching Carey lie to me.
No.
That's
I'm
all.
not lying to you, but I
Right
think
to my face,
watching
too.
them, the way that it happened, I think that's part of why it was a subdued celebration. And I think that team is full of psychos. Like, I think the head coach is a bit of a psycho in a good way. SG, like, they're not really celebrating in that manner. Like, Mark Daigneault, after they won, he's like, yeah, you know, it's a good win. I'm like, well, where's the energy, my man?
Yeah, but it makes it feel like
I think
it gave a feeling of like it was just whatever.
But I think
how can I be excited if you're not?
I think it was, how can I be that excited knowing the what are people going to say? Well, if Tyrese Halliburton doesn't get hurt, I don't know. So that's always going to be kind of an asterisk on their championship. That's going to be an asterisk on their championship for years to come. They're going to have to win another one in order for people, kind of like what he does with the Dodgers championship in the COVID season. He doesn't believe it.
Yeah, but that was a shortened season. It's different.
Well, they won.
It didn't go to 7 games.
Yeah, the only point that I was making about the Dodgers one is that one doesn't count. This one does.
Well, there are people that will think that this one doesn't count because Tyrese Halliburton tore his Achilles in the first quarter.
If he tore it in the first quarter, not the first game.
He's the best player.
But so what?
In Game 7 of a NBA Finals.
So that's it.
It's a wrap.
Now there's an asterisk because one guy got hurt in the first quarter of the Game 7.
I think some people will question it now, but in a couple of years, I think it's going to be a footnote. Just because we only remember the champions.
Yeah, but I think people will wonder what could have been. And, I mean, even the Pacers. They are going
Pacers
to say,
fans will always think
if Tyrese doesn't get hurt.
That's sports.
I agree. I 100% agree. It happens. Injuries happen. But to your star player in the biggest game of his life, of everyone's life that was on that court, every coach, every assistant coach, every player, the biggest moment of their lives, of their NBA careers, to have that player get hurt, I think it put a sour taste. And then I kind of was bothered because the damn Thunder fans, I don't know if they were cheering because the ball was turned over, but it felt like they kept cheering when he was laying on the ground.
Oh, yeah, I didn't.
That was classless.
Well, hopefully that wasn't the case, but we were robbed. Like basketball fans were robbed last night. We were. It was Game 7, NBA Finals, everything on the line. As you had mentioned, the Pacers had won Game 6. Carey, you were not alone in this thinking. Oklahoma City, a lot of people thought Oklahoma City were going to just completely run right through Indiana. The point spreads in every game were high.
They were favored.
The Thunder were favored
in every game.
In every game. Double digits in game one, the game that the Pacers won outright. Last night, I think the Thunder were laying 7, but that was after 6 games the Pacers had either hung with the Thunder or won outright, and the spread was still 7 last night. That's an indication like this was supposed to be a lopsided affair.
It's supposed to be a 5-game series.
It's supposed to be a 5-game a gentleman's sweep.
Gentlemen.
Instead, because of the Pacers' resiliency and Tyrese Halliburton's performance, they were 1 game away from winning it. So that was devastating to watch Tyrese Halliburton fall, victim to the Achilles tendon injury, and now Indiana loses its franchise star for next season too. Yeah. That is even more devastating.
Well,
it's the Jason Tatum situation.
Yeah, and I hate to say this, there are times when even though you take the allotted time to heal, you don't necessarily come back the same player.
I think the Achilles injury, out of like the common injuries in sports right now, I think it's the worst injury. I'm talking about the common ones. I'm talking about ACL tear and all. The Achilles tear has now become what the ACL tear was
way back when they didn't have the technology and the procedures.
Exactly. Adrian Peterson, when he came back in an hour from his ACL tear,
was amazing.
We started to look a little different at that one. But the Achilles tear, you're right, Jamie. You come back and these guys, for all my joking about Kirk Cousins, he won right last year. Aaron Rodgers at times won right last year, and now granted those are older guys, but still, a lot of times when players come back from the Achilles tear, they're not the same player for at least 2 years.
It takes forever to rehab it and get it healthy, but then it also takes a certain amount of time to get to be confident again and not be playing with a little bit of doubt.
Sure. And Cousins talked about the mobility being an issue. Like the ankle was strong, but the mobility wasn't there. So that's devastating. But congratulations to the Thunder. I think the other thing too is if we switch back to the Thunder, the way that Sam Presti built that team. He's hired in 2007. He's only 29 years old, and he was able to pitch the idea to Clay Bennett that, hey, I want this to be long term. I got a long term vision of how I'm going to build this, and credit Bennett and the Thunder for saying, do your thing. Yeah. Because Presti just said, we're going to be patient. We're not going to take any shortcuts. And he slowly built a roster that featured the NBA MVP, the NBA Finals MVP, guys like Jalen Williams, who became a star, made an all-star appearance, NBA, all NBA team. You had Holmgren, who overcame a major injury. Role players that they added, like Jalen Williams. He did such a great job in building that team, and now it's sustainable.
And let's not the first time he did. Like he's also built the team when you had KD, Russ, and James Harden.
Right.
Like this is his second iteration of a championship caliber team. Like to get those 3 guys on a roster, make it to an NBA Finals, lose, trade all those guys away, and restart from scratch and build a team that can and did win a championship. Like that man is I think he's going to be in the Hall of Fame already.
He's outstanding.
I think he's a Hall of Famer right now based on those 2 teams, those drafts that he's put together, and those two teams that he's had make a championship run.
And good for him too for being not only delivered, because anybody could say, hey, just be patient, just give me some time here.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Obviously, Presti
trust the process type of
exactly right.
Yeah, no,
all of a sudden, you're 6 years in. You're like, what process are we on now?
Yeah.
But with Presti, obviously, he had some knowledge and and that vision to say to Bennett, "Here's my plan. It's going to work. There's a strategic element to this. Just hang with me." And everybody was rewarded last night in OKC for the Thunder. It's Fastlane on 101 ESPN. Can we officially say that the Blues are out of their rebuilds? That's next on 101 ESPN.
101 ESPN Sports Center.
I'm Andrew Marsh. It's time for a Sports Center update driven by Johnny Londoff Chevrolet and Johnny Londoff Autoplex. We just got done talking about the NBA Finals, Game 7. If you missed that conversation or anything from today's show, make sure you go to 101ESPN.com or check out the free Dobbs Tire Auto Center's 101 ESPN mobile app. Just head to the podcast page. You'll find all of our shows there. It's all brought to you by the Schaefer Door Company. We'll have NBA draft coverage for you starting on Wednesday. That starts at 6:30 for Draft Day 1. The Cardinals take on the Chicago Cubs tonight. Ben Brown on the mound for the Cubs. Matthew Liberatore on the mound for the Cardinals. First pitch is at 6:45. I'm Andrew Marsh, and the Sports Center update is driven by Johnny Londoff Chevrolet and Johnny Londoff Autoplex. See them at londoff.com. Chevy, together we drive. Are you kidding me?
I don't know if we're out of it. We're further along in it. I think the Holloway, someone was described it to me, the Holloway-Broberg additions last year probably expedited our thought process by 3 years, because we added 2 more guys into that age group. So we're further ahead. We're not, but we're still consistent to that path, meaning we still like to add to that group. But that group showed last year that it can compete for a playoff spot.
That was Doug Armstrong talking about if the Blues are still in a rebuild. It's the Fast Line on 101 ESPN. I don't think the team is in a rebuild. I mean,
I don't think they're out of it.
They're out of it. Retool. Maybe they're on the back half of the retool or at the very end of the retool. But if I were to describe a team that was rebuilding, it would be a roster filled with mostly young, inexperienced players that the team wants to take a long look at. I would say that it's all about player, almost the Cardinals right now, player development focused. You're probably not going to be aggressive. You're not going to be aggressive in free agency or at the trade deadline. I think the Blues are out of that. Mm-hmm. Now they can still do the savvy moves in free agency in the offseason. But I think when it comes to the trade deadline next year, provided there's not a bunch of injuries and the bottom falls out, I think Doug Armstrong will look to add. And I think when you're in a retool, you're not necessarily looking to add a significant piece.
Well, Army at the beginning of last season, when we had our media availability with him at training camp, he said the whatever is over.
Right.
He said that last year training camp. Mm-hmm. Verbatim. It's what he said to us. So he said, moving forward, we are expecting this team to push for a playoff spot this year. Now, it didn't start out the way they wanted. They were, 500, middling 500. Then the firing or the moving on from Drew Bannister, bringing in Jim Montgomery. You saw a spike, but you still didn't see the brand of hockey that Monty wanted yet out of the team. Yet the front office was steadfast that they thought the team was a playoff team. Even halfway through the season, we're like, I'm squinting really hard to see how this is going to happen.
Yeah.
They were steadfast on that. So much so that Army actually added Cam Fowler. Very seldom do you do that if you don't think your team has a chance. Like you get a player that moves the needle for your team. Right. So he added Cam Fowler. Then the Four Nations break, and the rest is history. And you saw amazing development amongst our young players. And that, to me, is the key. That's what's changed the trajectory of everything. You saw what Holloway can do playing a regular shift in power play. Philip Broberg, you saw what he was capable of being a top 4 defenseman. Mm-hmm. Imagine that. Philip Broberg, the year before, spent most of the season in the American Hockey League. Then got called up, barely played in the playoffs, played every game in the final, and then last year we got a top 4 defenseman.
Right.
And then the emergence of Zach Bolduc, who saw 19 goals, probably should have had 20 or 21. Mm-hmm. He wasn't used I didn't think he was used the right way under Drew Bannister. Drew Bannister treated him like he was like a child, like a baby. I don't want him to bump his head. I don't want him to fall. Watch the kid. Like, no, just let him play. And Monty did. Monty let him play. Jake Neighbors continued to do great things. Jordan Kyrou took steps forward.
Yeah.
So all of that, to say that I think this team is in a really great spot right now to move forward, to continue that 5% better. We said it last week. I think the team can get 5% better not doing anything.
Yeah.
Just because the young guys will be 5% better as a whole, Anthony.
What'd you call me?
What?
Marshy.
Doug Armstrong spoke to the media today on what the plan is for today, Jamie.
Anything can happen. We saw it. You see it around the league that a team that you predict is going to be in doesn't make it. But usually if you predict, let's say 9 to 10 teams make it, usually 8 to 9 make it. So I think, Edmonton I don't see not making the playoffs. I don't see LA not making the playoffs. I don't see Dallas not making the playoffs. I don't see Colorado not making the playoffs. Now, any of those teams could miss, but that window gets, the available slots get smaller and smaller, and we're, as much as we'd like to get into that, we're not going to, our plan today is not to jeopardize the growth of younger players and future assets to make sure, give ourselves a better chance to finish 7th.
Yeah, that's smart. You don't need to. Like this offseason, if Army can add a second or third line center to kind of just give you that one little bit more, that depth that you need, great. But this is a great offseason for the Blues because they don't have to do anything extraordinary. Army said today he's not buying out anybody. So if anybody had thoughts of Leddy or Falk or player XYZ being bought out, it ain't happening. Now, Army does have flexibility come July 1st because the full no-trade clauses go to basically 15-team no-trade. That opens up over half the league that's open for business.
Yeah.
So we'll see what he does there. And if he does make a move, maybe then they add. But right now, you got to look back at the draft class, too, from the last 4 or 5 years. The amount of players, again, you had 9 players at the World Junior Championship. That means there's 9 NHL potential players. I use the word potential because you just never know.
Sure.
But that's what you've got in your stable right now. So you're already into years 4 and 5 of whatever this is, because that's when a lot of those guys will have this impact. So the young guys are having that impact now, and then 2 or 3 years from now, when some of the older players start to fall off, meaning like going to other teams, retirement, whatever the case, the new younger guys, now that 20 to 25 range that Army's talking about, you got a new influx of that coming into your team.
Yeah, you're supporting your current core with the next core. Correct. And the next core and the next core. And I don't want to exaggerate it, but Jamie, that's how I feel. How you just described, it's exciting. This is how you continue. We just got done talking about the Thunder, right? Winning last night. That they could potentially become a dynasty because of the way they're built. And this is what happens when you take your time and make good moves. Not every move worked out. We've talked about this ad nauseum when it comes to Doug Armstrong and some of the mistakes he made, namely letting Petro walk, right? And the domino effect that happened with that. But he's been able to rebuild it and almost rebuild it in a stronger way now with these young players. Injuries happen. Some players don't develop. But the future is so bright right now with this Blues franchise.
It's setting it up for another run of 8 to 10 years of really competitive hockey.
Absolutely.
I'm not going to say contender because I feel like that word gets used so frivolously sometimes. And we're seeing how hard it is to win a championship in every league. So to just say, oh, they're going to be a contender, we'll see.
I think you have to define contender, right?
Well, for me, a contender is a team that legitimately should have a chance to be in the Stanley Cup final. That's a contender for me. Making the playoffs isn't a contender. That's a playoff contender. You have a chance to make the playoffs.
Right. That's why I think you have to define. Like the Cardinals, they're not a World Series contender. No. They're a National League Central contender.
Yeah, they're a playoff contender at this point.
Yeah.
Because they're one game out of the wild card. So for me, though, if you have an opportunity to be in the discussion or being a playoff team for 6, 7, 8 years in a row, that obviously strengthens your opportunity to become a Stanley Cup contender, but that makes for really good hockey for an extended period of time for your fan base, too.
No doubt. That's Jamie Rivers, Carey Davis, and Anthony Stalter. Marsh is what's trending for us next on 101 ESPN. Just got back from a family vacation. If you're planning one this summer, make sure your vehicle is up for the ride, so to speak. At Auto Centers Nissan, they've got over 1,000 new and used vehicles, all in one location, right off I-55 in Herculaneum. No running around to 5 different lots. Just walk in, find out what fits your family, and then drive off. It's that easy. And right now, during their Nissan Summer Sales Event, you can lock in 0% APR for 60 months on the 2025 Rogue and 2025 Pathfinder. Let me say that Pathfinder is outstanding. Rogue drives nice too when it comes to long family trips and things like that. Nothing beats that Pathfinder. 2 spacious American-made Terra-free SUVs built for real family fun and real family life. And with their lifetime warranty at Auto Centers Nissan Herculaneum and the 30-day return promise, you get peace of mind long after you leave the lot. Plus, their finance team, they're family-friendly and family-focused as well. They work with any credit situation. So before you hit the highway, hit up Auto Centers Nissan in Herculaneum. Check out the full lineup at autocentersnissan.com. Tell them Stalter sent you. It's Auto Centers Nissan. It's all here.
topics in the sports world?
What in the wide world of sports is going on here?
It's time to find out with
What's Trending, brought to you by Elite Comfort Experts. Heating and cooling with no gimmicks, just guarantees. EliteComfortExperts.com.
Welcome back to the Fast Lane here on 101 ESPN with Anthony Stalter, Jamie Rivers, and Carey Davis. I'm Andrew Marsh, and it's time for What's Trending. Gentlemen, 9 a.m. tomorrow, we will see a different-looking Blues team. Ooh. Maybe not so much the roster, but looks like the Blues are getting a little bit of a rebrand.
Yes.
And we're getting the announcement tomorrow at 9 a.m. Are you guys excited? Do you think that this is the perfect time to do something like this with where the Blues are at in their franchise?
Are they going back to the red?
No, they're not. Gary, stop right now.
Yeah.
Let's go Blues!
I don't want the red.
And the red.
No, all jokes aside, Carey, please stop it.
Jamie's having PTSD right now.
A little bit. I had some great ideas there. Now it's just I'm seeing black.
Yep.
All right. I think it's a perfect time because your team itself is kind of in a rebranding moment. It's like the new era of Blues hockey. Jim Montgomery took over his first full season. All the young players that you've got now, like it feels like it's a new era of Blues hockey. Why not tweak it? Now, my biggest fear is that they screw it up. Like Carey just did.
What?
Get the red. No, you don't need to go with the red. I've seen a bunch of different spots on Twitter where people like showing like the older jersey remixed with some new concepts. I love some of the ones I've seen. I haven't seen red on any of them yet, which is nice.
I don't think they're going to have red.
I can't imagine. So Jim Woodcock.
That's a miss.
Jim Woodcock, who was the pioneer, the force behind getting rid of the red with the Blues, is still in very tight with Blues management. Still, they do some things together, like not for each other, but I can't imagine that they didn't run this past him a little bit because Jimmy Woodcock is like one of the best in the business at all the branding stuff and whatnot. And so I'd love to see the Heritage Blue jerseys that they have with the old blue note. I'd love to see the Bernie Federko era of the Blues jersey.
Yeah.
With a white one with the blue note on there. I think it'd be awesome. Like almost like the Winter Classic jerseys, but instead of that cream color, like white.
100%.
White. That would be my idea of perfection. So it'll probably be nothing like that.
I think you're onto something, though. I think it's going to look like the old blue note, a little bit skinnier, but the outline might be a little bit more bold, so it looks bolder like the one that they have now.
Yeah.
I don't think they're going to do too much to it. We had a texter text in like, they can't screw up the blue note, blah, blah, blah. Dude,
I don't think they'll touch
They're not going to screw up the blue note. They're just it's going to look like it once did.
I'll tell you this. I know a lot of the people down there, almost all the people that work in those different departments, they take it very seriously.
Yes.
Tom Stillman and the Blues ownership group, St. Louis owned, they take the blue note and the uniform very seriously. So I am anticipating something awesome tomorrow.
I would expect it to look similar to the patch that was on the Winter Classic.
Yeah.
Like the new, not the old ones from Minnesota,
No, the St.
but
Louis Blues one there.
the one that they just played in Chicago is like a little bit thicker. That's my prediction.
You like it a little thicker, eh, Marcy?
I think he does.
I don't blame you.
Yeah.
All right. Anyways,
Got walked into that one, huh, Marshall?
Careful when you do that.
Yep.
honestly, you could say anything and you could walk right into it.
You know, Marsh, that's true
You could
words.
literally say anything, and this
words,
man
my
will
friend.
find a way
That's
to
good
have
for
you walk through that door.
Yep, you're right.
He'll build a door for you
Yes.
to walk through.
Yeah.
Shame on
He's
you.
just an innovator.
Just the
He's
kind
like
of guy
that.
he is.
He doesn't even try sometimes, and he just does it.
I don't even know
It's
what you guys are
incredible.
talking about right now.
He's good at what he does. Guys, I don't know what you thought about this, but Kevin Durant to the Houston Rockets. I'm interested to hear what you have to say because I feel like we just saw this play out, dealing a young up-and-coming star for an older veteran.
Yeah, often seems to be a mistake.
Yeah.
At least in the NBA. But Carey, your thoughts on KD playing for now his 27th team? One of the best of all time. Guy's been moved more times than
Talk about chasing rings.
Yeah, I thought it was interesting that the Thunder won a championship on the same day that he was traded. Like, I thought that's
something poetic about that.
something kind of interesting about that. I think the Houston Rockets are going to be a really good team. They were a really good team this year, and they kept Jabari Smith. They are going to be a team that they needed that score. Jalen Green was unable to do really anything in that playoff series in terms of getting going and scoring, and so now they got a guy that can put the ball in the hoop. and he's going to score. He's going to be the guy that they go to late in games when they need a bucket. And I think that's what that young team was lacking this past season. So now they got it. Does it equate a championship? I don't know.
It hasn't for his last 12 teams.
Ime Udoka just re-signed, got a new contract, so he'll be there. He's a great coach. He took the Celtics to the finals when they lost to the Warriors, and really had a great young team this year. And and KD, I think they're going to be much better. So it's going to be interesting to see. Again, I don't know that it equals a championship, but I am intrigued to watch what he's able to do with that Houston Rockets team.
But it is crazy. Like, he is one of the best players of his era, and he has been moved constantly.
Some of it is his own doing.
Absolutely.
He wants a lot of it, I think, is his own doing.
He wanted to go to Golden State. He wanted to leave there, go to Brooklyn, and that whole thing didn't work out with him, James and Kyrie, and then wanted to be moved to the Nets, and now he wanted to be moved again. So the NBA players really, the star players write their own ticket. They end up really wherever they want to go for the most part.
Which Thunder Big Three, if you want to call it, when we look back on it 10 years from now, will be better? The Kevin Durant, Russell Westbrook, James Harden, that group, or the group we're seeing right now?
Are you saying best team?
Because individually it ain't close.
Individually it ain't close, but yes, best team.
This is the best team. This is the best team. This is a team.
I don't know. Like, that team.
You do know, though, because you saw last night.
I don't. I know they won a championship.
They're passing around that.
They did. They were.
First team in franchise history.
Yeah.
But that OKC team, if they would have allowed them to stay together, and I don't know how you pay off
allow them to stay together.
They didn't. Did
the league get involved?
No, KD went elsewhere.
Well, it's because they're not a good team.
No, they were. They went to the finals.
Really good team.
Apparently not.
They were a really good
they
team.
were good individuals that had good results.
No, they lost in the Western Conference Finals. They lost in the NBA Finals. Like, they were a really good team.
Did they win?
No.
Yep. Sorry about that.
But they had 3 freaking MVPs on their roster.
MVPs. Individuals.
I'll take that team. If you lined it up, that OKC team with Kevin Durant, James Harden, Serge Ibaka, Russell Westbrook versus the team that won the championship last night, Kevin Durant's team blowing them out the water.
Oh, stop.
Okay. If they win again next year, does that change your mind on this?
I don't know.
Oh, geez. Okay. All right, then, you know what? We're done here.
Carey sometimes shocks me. I've said this before. Because Carey was the ultimate team player.
I was.
The ultimate teammate.
And the guy that is ultimately only about the title.
Do anything.
I want to win.
Anthony, look at me. I'm not going to listen to him right now. Anything for the team to win at all costs.
Now, what'd you say there?
For the team to win at all costs.
Yeah.
Yet then he, in certain arguments or discussions, picks guys that are straight up individuals who care only about themselves.
Okay, let's do this. Jalen Williams versus James Harden. Who's winning that?
But who do you want on your team?
I'm asking. No. We're
Just shooting?
Just playing. Jalen Williams.
But James Harden doesn't play defense.
Jalen Williams versus Jalen Williams ain't going to be able to stop James Harden at all. So you want to call it a wash? Fine.
Well, okay.
Russell Westbrook.
No, it's James Harden.
Okay, Russell Westbrook, SGA.
But he's doing all individuals.
SGA.
Russell over SGA. Okay. James
SGA over Russ.
That's fine. Okay. Kevin Durant versus Chet Holmgren.
Chet, by the way.
Chet.
We fixed that.
Somebody a couple weeks ago had a slip up on that.
Did.
Yeah.
A little tongue twister there.
Yeah.
That guy went to New York and never came back. Different version now.
More professional. KD. I don't disagree with what you're saying from a talent perspective, but
Carey, you're presenting one-on-one.
No, I'm presenting.
You are
because the NBA turns into a one-on-one game. That team has better individuals that are, in my opinion, that team. They ran into a LeBron James team with Dwayne Wade, Chris Bosh. They weren't going to win, and that was their first time. They weren't going to win. Then the next time they lost in the Western Conference Final, they were up 3-1 and lost to the Golden State Warriors.
I also think those players,
really good team.
were in different points of their career too. I don't, you talk about them being individuals. I don't necessarily think at that point in time they were who we know them. I don't agree with you.
KD won an MVP while he was with that group.
But I don't think he's like Jamie's talking about them being selfish individuals. I don't think they were.
I'm not saying they're selfish, Marshy.
That's kind of...
No, what I'm saying is they've always been wired to be me first. And then if the team does well because of it, that's a result of them playing good.
I just think you're saying that now because of what we've known them to be.
One, that's unfair
now.
because I've thought this for a really, really long time, especially about Kevin Durant. And James Harden, for that matter. Like, over 5 years, I've been thinking about that.
James
This
Harden.
is like 10 years ago,
Yeah.
though. This is 15 years
I
ago.
understand that, but I'm telling you, my opinion didn't just start today, is what I'm telling you.
Yeah.
Team I saw win last night was an actual team. That's all I'm saying.
I agree. They were a team too. They got uniforms. They had a coach. They were the breakout. They took the jerseys, the sweaters off, the sweatshirts off before the game. That's a team. When you wear the same shirt and pants, same shirt and shorts, that's your team.
What were you just doing there?
Shirt and shorts.
No, the other thing. The
Shirt and shorts. I wasn't doing the dirty
You
bird.
do the- He's doing the end of the Dirty Bird. I'm sure you had great stuff to say there, but that's all
he saw.
That's all I saw.
He's always thinking about the Falcons.
Jamal Anderson right there.
Yeah.
All right. It's Fastlane on 101 ESPN. Cardinals draw first date with the Cubs. In some respects, is this a more important test than the one the Cardinals received a couple of weekends ago when the Dodgers were in town? That's next on 101 ESPN. This summer, let your deck be more than just the place where, the dog naps and you just do some grilling and stuff like that. Picture this. You got friends gathered, grills fired up, music's playing, and your new outdoor space built by Mosby Building Arts. During their summer sale, you can start building your dream deck or outdoor space for just $299 a month, or you could choose 5% off or 12 months with no payments, because your backyard is not just extra space. It's your new favorite room, so to speak, right? It's where your kids can play. It's where you host the outdoor parties. It winds up being kind of that perfect spot where your friends and family gather, and Mosby makes it attainable. No giant budget needed, just great design and flexible financing. So schedule your outdoor living consultation now at callmosby.com. You don't need to have the entire project finished. You just need to have that, project on the books by June 30th to qualify for either the 5% off, the 12 months with no payments, or the $299 a month at callmosby.com. The sale ends June 30th, though, so give them the call. Tell them Stalter sent you. Check them out at callmosby.com. You're not going to regret going with Mosby Building Arts, the right remodeling company. 3:06, your time check is brought to you by Clarkson Jewelers, an officially licensed Rolex jeweler. Carey Davis, Andrew Marsh, Jamie Rivers, and Anthony Stalter. The Cardinals and Cubs will draw first blood tonight. First time that the two teams will meet this season. Guys, do you think that this, in some respects, is a more important challenge than the Dodgers series a couple of weekends ago? Do you think this is more important from the standpoint of, like, we're judging the Cardinals and where they are at this point in the season?
I don't know if it's judging of, like, where they're at. For me, it's direct correlation to the standings.
Sure.
I mean, that's the bottom line. You play the Dodgers. To me, teams in other divisions are good measuring sticks.
Mm-hmm.
You're like, okay, especially the Dodgers,
Absolutely.
the best team in baseball. You win that series. It says a little bit about your team. Not a lot, a little bit.
Yeah.
This one here, to me, is just different. It's a divisional opponent. Like, you have to win this series. You can't tie it 2-all. You got to win it 3-1. At least. I'd love to see 4-all. That narrows the gap down to next to almost nothing in the division. But for me, it's not just knowing about your team. Like, if you're a good, can you win when it matters the most in important times? And this right now, Carey, you love this, is the biggest series of the season so far.
I say it all the time. Now it's true.
Yeah.
Hey, you got your division rival, your I guess most hated rival coming into town, and they are ahead 4.5 games, and you got a 4-game series here. You can push yourself closer to obviously taking the lead in the division, or if it goes the other way, you could be much further back if you don't take care of your business. So, bare minimum, you need to at least split the series. Obviously, winning it and sweeping it would be ideal.
This is absolutely where you can make your hay inside the division. This is where you can chop into the Cubs lead. This to me is a bigger series than the one against the Dodgers. I agree. It's your division foe, and it's a nice measuring stick within the division to say, okay, how do we match up against our biggest rivals? The Cubs are surviving some injuries. Their depth has been tested of late, but they continue to win. Marsh likes to play the schedule game a lot too. The Cubs have also had some easier series than the Cardinals. You broke it down. I think they played the Rockies like 19 times in a row. Marsh,
that's going to change, right, for the Cubs?
Yeah, I mean, exactly. Yeah, they're soft. Their schedule has come in the first half. The Cardinals are going through a gauntlet. Not only, and I know they just played the White Sox, but when you look at June and you're like, man, we don't have any scheduled off days outside of one. Now they've had some because of rainouts, but they've also had to play double headers. This is a massive gauntlet. But I think the Cardinals have done a nice job of focusing on health and rest. We saw Granillo come up and pitch very well, but they sent him down and brought up a different arm to have more rest and a fresher arm. They're winning despite lack of strikeout stuff, which I think we'll get into at some point. They've won in different ways than just long ball strikeout.
Carey loves that.
I actually hate it.
They're winning the way you want to see them win.
It's the worst.
Carey?
Thank you. Yeah.
You do.
Yeah.
Like this Cardinals team, the way that they have done it is how you would like to see them win. This is baseball to you, and I don't fault you for that at all. This is more exciting because they have sprinkled in some of the big time. Like the Nolan Arenado home run was crucial on Saturday. It's not like they completely lack home run or strikeout, high strikeout appeal. But what do you guys when you look at the Cardinals and Cubs right now? The records are what they are. But do you feel as though the Cardinals match up with this Cubs team?
I think that, we talked about the opponents that the Cubs have faced. They had a series. The last 4 series were the Phillies, the Pirates, the Brewers, and Seattle. I don't think that that's a terrible string of teams that they've played over the last 4 series. I think that they are a team that has been really, really good and probably better than expected coming into the season. They've been really good. I think they have good pitching. They got some guys that are Kyle Tucker and Pete Crow Armstrong are guys that are hitting the ball really well. I think it's going to boil down to your favorite thing, Anthony, pitching. How do the Cardinals pitchers match up versus the Cubs pitchers? And I think that's going to be the most important part of it. If the Cardinals are able to, you got Palante, you got Liberatore, Fetty, and Palante scheduled to go, and then Sonny Gray for the Cardinals. Those 3 guys, you know what Sonny Gray is going to provide. If those 3 guys can hold the fort down and not have to get into the bullpen early in the first game of the series, you probably have a chance to do some things because we've seen what the lineup can do. But it's going to boil down to the pitching for the Cardinals.
Liberatore sets the tone tonight. Yep. He's got to set the tone for the Cardinals. He was so good in the first couple of months of the season, and now he's at this rocky patch.
Well, his last outing was pretty solid.
Yeah, he's trying to work through it. But if the May version of Liberatore shows up again, that breeds a lot more confidence for me.
Yeah.
In looking at this pitching staff, the way that he was pitching, the way that Matthew Liberatore was pitching earlier in the year, completely reshaped how I looked at the starting rotation.
Absolutely.
You had Sonny Gray pitching well. Yeah, the Liberatore was pitching like a 1 or 2. We'll just call it a top-end starter. He completely revamped the way we looked at it. When he started to struggle, that's when you started to notice, like, okay, are you getting enough out of Palante? No. Fetty's been fine. Michaelis has been a 5th starter. I don't think you can ask more of Miles Michaelis.
No, he's fine.
He's 5 innings. He limits the damage. I think yesterday he gave up, again, this is, I don't know how many starts in a row now it's been where he's given up 3 or fewer runs. Like, he's pitched like a 5th starter.
He's giving you an opportunity to win.
Exactly. But Liberatore gave you, when he was pitching like a top-end dude, he gave you that 1-2 punch along with Sonny Gray. You get into a 4-game series, you're like, okay, as long as we got these 2 pitchers going, we're good. But if Liberatore doesn't pitch well tonight, then I think you have to really say, look, this Cubs starting rotation is just significantly better.
Where are we with the bullpen? Because right now, guys, I'm not thrilled with what I'm seeing. Because Steven Matz now's had a couple of games in a row where it's just gotten away from him. Mm-hmm. And he's supposed to be your guy. So, like, if you say we just need 4 innings or so out of Liberatore, and used to be able, or Michaelis, you'd be, okay, the next guy is Steven Matz. He can go 2 to 3 innings because, he's kind of our middle guy. Like,
right.
But he's given up 2 to 3 runs in the last... 3 runs last game that he was credited for anyways.
Yeah.
And then John King, I'm not real confident. Leahy, I'm clenching my teeth when those 3 are in the game.
Granillo was
Granillo's fine.
He was excellent for them.
He's good. Helsley does his job properly. O'Brien looks good right now. But those 3 right now in your bullpen scare the heck out of me. And in a 4-game series... Like, you're going to need Liberatore to go 5 or 6. Mm-hmm. You're going to need Fetty to go 6. You're going to need Palante to go 6 or 7. Like, you're going to have to get... You cannot go to the bullpen too often in this series because your bullpen has not been fantastic.
No, you're right. So Steven Matz is slumping right now. And we don't tend to look at pitchers as if they can slump, especially relievers. Mm-hmm. We as baseball fans tend to look at relievers like you have to be perfect always. You're either great or you're horrible. That's how we tend to look at
You either
relievers.
hang on to the lead or you lose the game.
Yes. Because it's not fair. It's not good perspective.
It's that important. You're only pitching an inning, right? And you're brought in because the starter got into a jam, and your job is to be the fireman, put the fire out. Mm-hmm. Don't allow any more runs. Don't allow any base runners.
You should carry a hose with you.
Well, you should. Yeah, I don't know.
Give yourself a chance to put the fire out.
You should carry a hose with you.
You should.
Yep.
And some hoses are bigger than others, depending on the size of the fire.
Yep.
We didn't start the fire.
No.
It was always burning.
That's right.
The roof is
on fire.
Okay. Mm-hmm. We don't need no water then.
Nope.
The roof.
Oh, the fast lane burn.
Yeah. Okay.
All right.
So, yeah, Cubs Cardinals tonight. Open up a new 4-game series. Should be fun, guys. Baseball is better when these 2 are competitive.
I agree.
It's the Fast Lane on 101 ESPN. Where are we? Blues look to keep Joel Hofer despite the offer sheet rumors. Now, this will make Carey and I happy because we were talking about how re-signing Joel Hofer is imperative. I wonder how Jamie feels, though, because Jamie was poo-pooing that idea.
I wasn't. I just said,
ago.
Never mind. We'll talk about it in a minute.
Next on 101 ESPN.
All right, St. Louis, listen up. I bet you didn't know that Warren Buffett and Bill Gates invest in U.S. farmland. That was news to me, too. There is a reason. The reason they do that is they get steady returns, long-term growth, and real stability, even when the market is all over the place. And we know that right now. The market's high, the market's low, there's stress, there's anxiety. Invest your money into something that is consistent and will continue to grow. For 14 years, AgVest has helped leading financial institutions manage over $900 million in farmland deals, and they're licensed in 10 states. If you own farmland, AgVest can help you maximize its value with full-service management, from sourcing and diligence to rent and tenant selection. It really is a great investment right now. The USDA reports that 50-year appreciation rate at approximately 6% per annual return. That's important to you. You want your money to continue to grow steadily. There's no ups and downs, no fluctuations. And while your money continues to grow, the asset itself, the farm, continues to appreciate in value. So please, if you need more information, give Chris Bronner a call at 618-520-7022 or visit agvestadvisors.com. Buy land. They're not making it anymore.
We're not concerned about offer sheets or anything like that. We've taken the Boston Detroit approach last year when they had restricted free agents. They made sure they left enough cap space that any offer could be matched. I'm very comfortable we can match any offer if we choose to match it. It won't be we didn't match it because we couldn't afford it. We didn't match it because we thought the value we were getting back was better, and that value would have to start with a first-round pick, or else we'll just match it because. I'm not saying we wouldn't match it with the first either, but I guess this is my shot across the bow that you can go after him, you're not going to get him.
Whoa, Doug Armstrong. Challenge accepted,
Army.
Boy, he wins the press conference, doesn't he? Shot across the bow. You can offer me, but you better bring your A game. If not, you're not going to get him. Go fast lane yourself is what Doug Armstrong was saying. So he's talking about Joel Hofer, and that was from the media availability, his media availability earlier today. Blues looking to keep Joel Hofer despite the offer sheet rumors. We've talked about Joel Hofer. Now, Jamie, apparently I may have misspoke.
Probably.
In what you were saying a couple of weeks ago, which is that Joel Hofer wasn't important enough to resign because that would change the landscape of the offseason.
What's really weird is I don't ever remember saying that.
Gary, you do, right?
Yeah, I heard something.
No, guys, you can't do that to me. No.
And Jamie's, in fairness to Jamie, Anthony, you missed a whole week.
We did.
This was 2 weeks ago.
That would things change, Mox.
That's true.
Well, one thing I can tell you is I've never said that. In fact, I talked about how important it is to re-sign Joel Hofer for a good deal for the player and the team. And you want that deal to exceed, at least by 1 year, in my opinion, the current Jordan Binnington contract. That way, you're not left with no goalie at some point. And, I don't know what the future holds for Jordan Binnington or the Blues. Too early to tell. But I do know that right now, Binnington and Hofer are one of, if not the best tandem in the NHL when it comes to goaltenders. Certainly handling the puck, but also just winning hockey games for their team. The Oilers and other teams are interesting because if somebody just decides to just completely overvalue Joel Hofer at $5 or $5.5 million a year, then Army's ready. Like, he's playing chess all the time. Because right now, when you look at the Blues for their draft right now, let's see here. Let's go to the teams on Cap Wages. Excellent website, by the way. We're not paid to say that. I just think it's a great website. This year, round 2, round 3, round 4, the Blues have no pick. Next year, round 2, no pick. The year after that, round 2, no pick. So if someone's going to step up and overprice Joel Hofer, now, remember, dollar value comes into the play about compensation, which is why Army was so strategic with the amount of money he offered Holloway and Broberg, so he kept them where he didn't have to part with a first-round pick. So if the Oilers, who are in win-now mode, by the way, or any other team decide to really overprice Joel Hofer, they probably are sacrificing a first and a second round, maybe even a third, depending on what's going on with that. Army now picks up all this draft capital. Does he want to lose Joel Hofer? No, he doesn't. But if he's going to lose the player because he can't match the offer because of salary cap implications, well, you better believe you have to be ready for that. And now those picks come back to you. You continue to build. So, but it sounds like they're negotiating currently. It doesn't sound like Joel Hofer and his agent are, testing the waters. Army said flat out, we're going to give the qualifying offer. They will take us to arbitration. We will file our arbitration, and we'll figure it out from there.
So I got a question. I want to make sure I'm doing this right. So $4.6 million to $7.02 million get you a first and a third round pick.
Yes.
If a team offers that and you don't match it.
Yeah.
The other question I have is Jordan Binnington is making $6 million a year. So let's say a team offers Hofer 6.5. Can you as a team, I know you can, but can you pay your backup goalie more than your starting goaltender?
No, you're not going to. That's where Army's going to take the first.
He's going to say, okay.
So yeah, okay, fine. I tap out.
All right. You
have to remember now, Carey, if somebody puts that much money into it, somewhere on their roster they're handicapping themselves. So it's somebody who's going to overcompensate for a position of need that they have.
Right.
Now, if it's a young team, that is rebuilding, like if Anaheim decides to trade John Gibson to a team that's contending and they want to offer sheet Joel Hofer because he's the next wave because they're building something big in Anaheim, they can do that.
Right.
But now Joel Hofer would have to want to go to Anaheim in a rebuild, retool situation that he's just currently coming out of with the Blues. So not only can a team offer a lot of money, the player has to accept the offer. It's not automatic. It doesn't mean Joel Hofer and his agent can't listen and see, like, hell yeah, Buffalo called. Yeah, hang up. You know what I mean? But yeah, there's the possibility because there are some teams out there that will have the cap space, but they won't be a contending type team.
All right, so Doug Armstrong, speaking to the media today, also talked about, he was asked on whether or not, when he fleeced the Oilers last year for Holloway and Broberg.
That's just good business.
Offer sheet thing.
Business.
Does he think that there could be a revenge situation, an old fast lane revenge situation when it comes to offer sheets? Maybe not just with him, but across the league.
I don't think so. I think we all look at it as a business approach. Now, I don't think, when we have looked at it in the past and did it in the past, there has to be an avenue that you think you're going to acquire the player. And if there's no avenue, I don't think you get better by, I don't think St. Louis gets better by making somebody else's cap tighter. If you know what I mean? If you have $30 million in cap space and we offer a player money just so you have 27 or whatever, I don't think that type of business sense works. It just pushes the contract values up as comparables for free agency. Last year, we thought there was an opportunity to get the players, and we did it. If we didn't think we were going to get the players, we wouldn't have done it. And if anyone makes an offer sheet this year, not only to St. Louis, but anyone, they're going to think they're going to get the player. I think if you do it just to drive the market price up, I'm not really sure the logic in that, because even if you get the player, then you overpay them.
Yeah, exactly.
So do you agree with that? Do you agree that it's just not good business sense? Last year just happened to be one of those situations where Doug Armstrong did something that was somewhat unprecedented.
Yeah.
And it just worked out, but he intended to get both players. He did, and it's just a unique situation. We won't see it until the next unique situation pops up.
So here's where the real credit has to go. We credit Army with the offer sheet situation. The real credit for this, no disrespect to Doug Armstrong, the real credit goes to the scouting staff. Because what the Edmonton Oilers couldn't see in Holloway and Broberg, the St. Louis Blues did see.
Yeah.
And so then when Army made those offers, everybody, those are inflated offers. On paper, they were. Mm-hmm. But then in reality, with the production you got from both players, I'd say Broberg was right in line with what he made.
Sure.
And Holloway was underpaid for what he did.
Right.
So your scouting staff is the one that robbed the Oilers of their prized possessions, and Army was the guy at the top of the food chain that put the exclamation point in place. So that's what you have to do. You have to go find something on another person's team that they don't value enough if you're going to try and steal them. Because if they value it, they're going to make cap space, room, and they're going to match your offer.
Right.
You have to find that diamond in the rough that a team not necessarily don't understand the value of what they have yet. And then you sneak in and you slightly overpay. So that team is like, well, I'm not overpaying. We got a cap to worry about.
Right.
So that's really the strategy there.
That's Jamie Rivers, Carey Davis, Andrew Marshall, Anthony Stalter. Which quarterback has the most to prove in 2025? We'll get into that next on 101 ESPN.
101 ESPN Sports Center.
I'm Andrew Marsh. It's time for a Sports Center update brought to you by Saliga Heating and Cooling. The Cardinals have recalled Rodri Munoz from Memphis AAA. Gordon Graceffo has been optioned to Memphis. The Cardinals will take on the Cubs for the first time in 2025. That is tonight, with Matthew Liberatore on the mound going up against Ben Brown. First pitch is at 6:45. If you missed anything from today's show, make sure you go to 101ESPN.com or check out the free Dobbs Tire and Auto Center's 101 ESPN mobile app. Just head to the podcast page. You'll find all of our shows there, and it's all brought to you by the Schaefer Door Company. The NHL is over. The NBA is over. We just have Major League Baseball for now, and we're all looking forward to the NFL starting up here in a couple of months. Which quarterback has the most to prove in 2025? We'll talk about that next right here in the Fast Lane. I'm Andrew Marsh, and the Sports Center Update is brought to you by Saliga Heating and Cooling, a Daikin heating and air conditioning dealer.
Fast Lane on 101 ESPN.
Some sick
Units.
sense of humors around here.
Yeah.
Ain't me this time.
Nope, that's true. Which quarterback has the most to prove in 2025? What I find interesting about this question is that you could really take this in several different ways. You've got aging vets. You got vets who've never won before. You've got MVPs who have never won Super Bowls. Second-year quarterbacks.
Yeah, there's a lot of different scenarios.
Yeah. So if you were to choose, let's just before we, and I'm really talking to you, Carey.
Why?
Because you like to you like to discuss every quarterback.
Right, I got you. I'll pick one.
We will eventually do that.
No, Carey, go ahead. Pick that.
Just choose one.
I feel picked on. Hey, Jamie, you go first. Show me how it's done.
Well, I got a couple guys.
If you were to choose one that has the most to prove.
Josh Allen.
I don't know if that's true.
Yeah, he's coming off an MVP season, unable to make it to a Super Bowl yet. They are a team that has come close. They can't get past either the Cincinnati Bengals or the Kansas City Chiefs. So, yeah, it's Josh Allen. You just won an MVP. People thought I thought you would take a step back last year. Surprise, surprise. You only went out there and won the MVP of the season. Mm-hmm. You were the best player. And so it's time. We're there. Show me. Don't keep telling me about it.
All right, so that's a good one. I'm going to stay in the AFC myself. I'm going to go with Carey's Lamar Jackson.
That's why I didn't do that, because I knew one of you
figured Jamie.
Yeah, I figured one of you would say, your favorite team, the Baltimore Ravens.
I said Carey's favorite guy.
You know what you're doing.
I said Carey's favorite guy.
I think you said Carey's favorite team.
No, I said Carey's favorite guy, Lamar Jackson.
I actually think you just said favorite.
Lamar Jackson, yeah. Whatever.
Yeah.
Who does he play for? Who does he love?
He loves Lamar.
Okay.
I love Jalen Hurts.
So how's your problem?
Aaron Rodgers now. And I got a few guys that I
Here we go again.
love at the position.
It's not even his turn, and he's doing it. I think Lamar Jackson, 12-5 last year, and they got nothing done in the postseason. I think he's got a lot to prove. He's MVP. Yeah. What'd you do?
You know me.
I think if you're talking about the ones that have the highest expectations with the one with like something to prove, it's the two guys you just discussed. It really is. Those two guys have the highest expectations. Everything is about whether or not, like if you're Allen, you're 0-4 against Mahomes in the playoffs. Can you finally get over the Chiefs, hump? If you're Lamar, you're 3-5 in the playoffs. So these guys have already proven that they are some of the best quarterbacks or best players in the league. But can you win it all? So those are the two guys I think have the most to prove from that standpoint.
Maybe not even win it all, but get to the damn
To the
Super Bowl.
Sure.
Get closer.
Good
Get
call.
there.
Jared Goff has been there. He's a good quarterback.
He is.
He's been there. He's done something that you
Watch your
and
mouth.
you haven't done.
Yeah.
What?
Watch your mouth.
No, Jared, I'm a big fan.
Jared Goff also doesn't play in the AFC.
No, he does not.
Well, he can't. It's
Sounds
not
like
his
an
fault.
excuse.
No.
You think he had a choice in that, Marshy?
I'm just saying he doesn't play in the AFC, and if he did, he definitely would not have been in the Super Bowl because
Probably.
Patrick Mahomes and the Chiefs continue to prove that they are the best team in the AFC.
For me, though, if I'm going to go to another category,
Oh, you better not say who I think you're going to. Go ahead.
Can we say
Yeah,
it
he
at
won't
the
be.
same time?
Yeah.
I think we might be on the same wavelength here.
I don't know if we are.
Really?
Can I say it with you?
I know what Marshy's going to say.
I think we're all going to have different answers.
I know who you want to say.
No,
He's not gonna go
I
there.
want to say who I will say.
Say it.
Okay, I think I have the name in mind.
I
think I have the name in
actually
mind.
just did a whole bunch. I will say what I think I said when I thought I said it.
But now that you said you're going to do something different, I have a different name in mind.
Oh, Marshy, now you're throwing me
I'm
off.
really in the Matrix.
Yes.
All right, I'm just going to say who I thought I was going to say.
All right, and I'm going to say
Anthony,
who.
speak
who I
your
will
truth.
say.
3, 2, 1. Brock
Sam
Justin
Darnold.
Herbert.
I said
Yeah.
J.J. McCarthy.
We all into different people.
All right, Carey. Jeez.
No, it's not Sam Darnold.
Sam Darnold.
You had a one.
What the hell
Who
is
did you
What do
say?
you care about Sam Darnold for?
Okay, hear me out on this.
Did he say Sam Darnold for real?
Yeah.
Anthony, I don't even care about him
What the hell do you care about Sam Darnold?
I don't
for?
care about him,
family
but
doesn't
Why the
even
hell
care.
would you put him down?
Lamar Jackson and Josh Allen are the two obvious answers, right? Moving on from that, this was somebody who was a top, 3 draft pick, went to the Jets, failed, went to Carolina, failed, had a great 1 year with Minnesota, got paid a decent amount of money in Seattle. Are you somebody that can build off of what you did a year ago, or are you a one-hit wonder?
Yeah.
So beyond Lamar, beyond Josh Allen.
just
Do you
doesn't
care
move the
what the
needle.
damn?
What did you say, Herbert?
I said Justin Herbert. He's your favorite player.
I like Justin Herbert.
has a lot to prove.
Love Justin
does.
Herbert.
Which means
He's
that's
been
why he
one of
wouldn't
the-
say it. He's
he's
going to
good.
coddle him.
I think his answer for you is better
Is
than
the
yours.
yeah, exactly.
I don't.
We should have
don't
saved
know.
you from your own opinion.
I think it's Darnold.
Sam Darnold is not going to do spit.
Yeah, I think he reverts back to his old self.
Nobody
yeah.
cares about Sam Darnold.
Yeah, well, his
Well,
family.
looks like he's got something to prove, doesn't he?
He does. I mean, if you look at it that way.
Thank
Anthony, you got there.
Nobody thinks he can do anything. Everybody thinks his resume is basically attached to Kevin O'Connell.
It is.
It is.
I mean, Kirk Cousins is.
They might
That's a
finish
good point,
last in
too.
the division.
Who won 10 games last
They
year?
might get relegated.
They might finish last in the division.
Who did you say? Oh, you said Herbert.
Said Justin
you said
Herbert.
I said J.J. McCarthy. Not for you, but I was thinking because Marsh was thinking.
And then what did you say?
I said Brock Purdy.
No.
All three are better answers than Sam Darnold.
Why is Brock Purdy? Brock Purdy
just
took
got
the
paid.
49ers.
He just
Took
got
the
paid.
49ers to the
Just got
Super
paid.
Bowl.
But everybody doubted him. He's a
on a
systems
rookie
quarterback.
contract.
And he already proved that he could take the team to the Super Bowl.
Not while he's getting paid.
That's right.
Things change.
49ers had the Chiefs dead to rights in that game. He was almost.
Sam Darnold.
This is like back when you used to love Carson Wentz.
You could have gave me 20 chances. I would have never thought you were going to say Sam Darnold, which I guess makes it a great pick because
Thank
none
you.
of us were expecting
He's
that.
got something to prove to all of us. now.
He's definitely got
Thanks,
something
guys.
to prove to us. The hell?
Not you, Anthony. Sam Darnold.
I did it.
I was thinking your second pick would be Caleb Williams.
I think Caleb
Again,
Williams
a
is
better
a
pick than
really
Sam
good one.
Darnold.
Yes.
Way back.
Out of all the second-year quarterbacks, it's got to be Caleb Williams. You know what, I'm
Jaden
not-
Daniels.
I'm
So
Why would Jaden Daniels? He just took his team to the NFC Championship game.
Second year.
What does he have to prove?
What the hell has Sam Darnold got to prove?
This was a former top 3
Nobody
pick.
thinks about Sam
his fourth
Darnold.
team.
So what?
Nobody thinks about Sam Darnold.
Right now, the only person that cares about Sam Darnold is probably Colin Coward.
Honestly, at this point, I'm kind of rooting for Sam Darnold. I'm not
I
rooting
am
for
disappointed
Darnold.
in you.
I'm not, Anthony.
I'm disappointed.
I'm not disappointed in you.
Very disappointed.
Just confused.
You just mentioned Michael Penix Jr.
Oh, yeah.
He got so many names.
Aaron Rodgers for that.
Aaron Rodgers.
Aaron Rodgers has a Super Bowl and multiple MVPs.
Yeah, but he's got something to prove.
You could have went any quarterback in Cleveland. It's 5 of those guys.
Why would I care about Cleveland?
You could have went Will Levis.
Now you're getting silly. We've officially
Justin
reached the
Cam
silly.
Ward.
Justin Fields.
First overall pick.
Cam
Like,
Ward
you could've
he
went
just got into the league.
You could have went Danny Dimes.
Daniel Jones and Anthony Richardson.
I'm going to stick to it.
What are we doing?
I'm going to stick to it.
Bryce Young?
Okay, so if Sam Darnold.
I've given you 20
Leads-
names.
Hold on.
That would have been so much better.
That's how Carey did it. He named everybody in the league. That's how he worked it in.
You're right, Marsh. You got that.
Thank you.
Hold on. Let me ask you something, CD. Since you're so
Mayfield.
disappointed in me, I've failed you. It's probably why you don't do the Gridiron Guys podcast with me anymore. If Sam Darnold leads the Seahawks
To what?
to they win the division, right? Because you're saying he could lose every game next year.
I don't think every game.
They win the division, and he has another good year. Wouldn't that prove something to you?
Sure.
Like, just because you don't think he's going to play well.
I don't think he's not going to play well. I just don't think it's going to matter in that
I
division.
don't think it matters. Like, he's got, like, what does it
Who's
prove?
he throwing to? Anthony? Who's he throwing to?
It proves that he can have a career resurgence, and he wasn't just a one year wonder.
He ain't throwing to Justin Jefferson. Life's going to be hard for old Sam.
We'll find out.
Old man Sam is who you're going to see.
We'll find out.
No, we don't. Oh, God.
It's gonna be
Anthony,
fun.
I hope he has a wonderful season
man.
for you.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Still a bad answer.
Justin Fields.
I'm fine with it.
Any quarterback in New York.
Justin
Giants.
Fields. I know what Justin Fields is a running back.
Yeah, he's got a lot to prove.
That he can run.
No, just like that. You
He
call
can
him a
run.
running back. He wants to be a quarterback. He's got to prove it.
You're right. He's got something to prove.
I do hate that answer.
Not the top answer though. Honestly, the top answer
No, he's
is
doubled down.
Josh Allen or Lamar Jackson.
Oh, you know what he's doing.
Which is what I said
You know what he's
before.
doing.
Yeah,
You know what he's
yeah.
doing.
We're sorry.
Let's go to the next one.
Yep, we're sorry.
Go next.
I
We're
was going
sorry.
to sit here
Anthony,
and
no,
repeat
we're
what you
sorry.
guys said.
We
you know?
apologize.
I know, we apologize.
Thanks, guys.
Yeah.
I don't know what you're apologizing for.
What do you guys think about Sam Darnold?
Nothing.
I think it's an interesting season for old Sam this year.
Oh, I can't wait to
What
see
do you
you
think the
tuning
record
into
is
the
going to be?
Seahawks.
He's not going to watch one damn Seahawks game. You will not watch one damn Seahawks game. I can't believe you said Sam Darnold. That could be the only game on that you're going to find something to do with your children. Yes, you will. You're not going to watch no damn Seahawks. Play the Arizona Cardinals for what?
Could be interesting.
Oh, come on.
No, it's not. It was good up until that point.
Why didn't you guys not take Josh Allen or Lamar?
Well, we gave
So I
you
didn't have to
20
sit
other,
the third chair.
we gave you 20 other quarterbacks.
Do you guys know that Anthony was born in Everett, Washington? Became a Seahawks fan.
No, clearly.
Very early on in
Everett
his young
Silverton.
life.
Yeah.
But then transitioned to a Falcons fan because he likes birds.
He sure
but
does.
didn't like the colors of the Seahawks.
I actually do like those colors.
Anthony, are
Those
you
uniforms
more of
are
a
good.
big bird fan or a smaller bird?
Well, I prefer birds that are very fast.
Do you?
You know.
But if you had your druthers, if someone gifted you a bird, would you rather it be small or big?
How big? Like pterodactyl style?
The bigger, some say the bigger the better.
I'll take it. I'll take a pterodactyl.
Okay.
I prefer a pterodactyl over like a robin. You know.
There you go.
Yeah. Lineup game next on ESPN.
Sam.
Circa Sports Illinois. Sports betting at your fingertips, the way it should be.
Anthony, our friends over at Mentality just continue to do amazing work. Had a couple of buddies in town from a rock band. Not a big deal, right?
Right.
They weren't feeling great.
What?
We were out for dinner, and they're like, and they're asking me about, well, how come you look so good and you look happy and you're energetic? And I told them all about Mentality and the fact that I took forever. I dragged my feet before I went in there and found out that I was low in testosterone and other vitamins as well, and that's why I was lethargic. That's why I was depressed, all those things. They got up the next day, went in. Our girl Angel at Mentality in Chesterfield took care of both of those guys, and now they're on their own program. I'm getting texts every day thanking me.
Yeah, it's awesome, right? It's fun to see when you talk to somebody that was experiencing maybe the same things you were, low on energy, lack of focus. You go to work and you're like, man, I got no motivation. I don't care. And then you go home, I'm not motivated to get in the gym. And for the longest time, Jamie, you and I were just like, nothing we can do about it, right? We'll try to do some things here and there. But then we go down to Mentality. You help me out with this. Going down to Mentality is finding out how easy it is just to sit down and talk to their board-certified physicians about how you're feeling. They draw your blood. It's very simple. No, it's not like you have to do any surgery or anything like that.
Awesome at their job.
They're fantastic. You draw your blood, and you realize you are low on testosterone. They got a program for you, and my program doesn't look like Jamie's. But the results are there. You feel great. You feel like you got more energy. You feel like, yesterday everybody's like, oh, don't go out and they eat and all that stuff. I'm like, I'm fine. I went out, mowed the lawn, all good. No issues.
You're a savage.
Well, because of Mentality. And you can be too. If you want to be a savage, get your life back, right? Mentality, they're a local healthcare facility specialized helping men like Jamie and I and you feel and perform at your very best. So head down to Mentality, 2 locations, one in South County, one in Chesterfield. You also check them out at mentalityhealth.com/radio. But tell them Jamie and Anthony sent you in there. It's Mentality. Get your life back. Start feeling great again.
The summer heat and humidity will be here soon. Is your air conditioner ready? This is Corey with Air Comfort Service Heating, Cooling, and Installation. If your air conditioner is around 10 years old, it's time to think about replacing it. For a limited time, get 2024 pricing plus Carrier Cool Cash rebates up to $1,700 on qualifying HVAC equipment and 0% financing for up to 72 months. With over 55 years of award-winning service, you can trust Air Comfort Service with your new AC installation. For details and free estimate, visit aircomfortservice.com. That's aircomfortservice.com.
.101 ESPN has your chance to win free tickets to Chris Stapleton with special guest Brittany Spencer on Friday night, July 11th at Hollywood Casino Amphitheater. Find all the ticket details and find that chance to score free tickets for Chris Stapleton right now, either at 101ESPN.com or on your 101 mobile app. Powered by Dobbs Tire and Auto Centers.
Last night on 101 ESPN, we got Cubs Cardinals tonight. Matthew Liberatore on the hill for the Cardinals. The Cubs will counter with Ben Brown.
Oh, BB.
Ben Brown.
Brownie, what's he? Righty?
Righty. Yeah. He's a right-hander. So, time to play a lineup game here in the fast lane. I feel like I'm going to be a little rusty here, guys.
Well,
why don't you lead? Why don't you lead, CD?
Yes, show us. We're good with this, Jamie?
Yep, let's go, baby.
Show us Brendan Donovan.
Look at that guy. Vibrant, handsome, hair.
Okay.
Best
Mason
player,
win.
leading off on base percentage. You want that guy on base. Sure. Yeah, you can go. You, I like that. Go ahead.
Win?
Yeah.
Show us. Mason win.
Duncan! Bring me that
This has got to be my guy here, right? Marshy's guy?
Yeah.
Oh. St. Louis Star?
St. Louis Star himself.
Show us St. Louis's own star, Alec Burleson.
I thought I told you I'm a star.
You're already acting like you're a star, and we haven't even opened yet.
Now, the cleanup spot has been a little bit weird.
Get a little hairy here.
Yeah, because the last game it was Gorman against an RHP. The game before that, it was Arenado back in the cleanup spot.
I think it's.
And then it was Contreras.
Yesterday was yesterday was Contreras.
In here.
So do I.
I'm just saying, there's been a variety.
You're just saying it's been a little screwy.
Yeah. Go ahead and Carey.
Show us Wilson Contreras.
You don't know how to play first base. It's not that hard. Tell him, Wash.
It's incredibly hard.
Hey, anything worth doing is.
Is Gorman here at 5?
Is Gorman playing?
Is Gorman playing? That's question number 2.
It's a good question.
It's a great question.
Important question.
Yesterday, this was Arenado.
I mean, he's hitting the ball pretty good right now.
Or maybe it's Newt. Maybe you move Newt up. Maybe he's.
Or is it Sajaci?
He's worked his way.
He slid in at 5 too the other day.
Is he playing?
Sajaci was 6 yesterday.
But he was 5
fifth
on Friday.
He was 5th on Friday. But I think Newt has kind of.
Question my.
No, I just wondering who was on Saturday.
What were you doing on Friday, Anthony?
Driving.
Yeah. Don't question me.
Well, I asked was who was hitting 5th on Saturday. I don't care about Friday. That's how you guys. Sam Darnold's gonna have a big year.
We need to clip that. Please.
All right. So who do we think 5th here?
Newt
or Gorman for me.
I don't know if Sajaci is playing. Where is he playing?
So you guys think it's either Newt
Well,
or
Walker
Gorman?
could be out of the lineup, and you could have.
He could be. But then that'd be Burley.
Yeah, it'd be Burley, you're right.
Right field.
Burley could DH Donovan play right field. I don't know about that.
Who do you think?
I would say Newt here, because I think he's in left field.
Go.
Really? Show us Lars Newt Bar.
International superstar.
I believed in you. That's how you responded.
Watch out, they're running any walls.
I said go.
It was rude. I'm not going to lie. Carey, you should apologize.
Thank you. Thank you, James.
Some of the things you say, Carey.
I'm sorry.
No, that's not going to carry.
I don't like this. Is this Arenado?
That you feel that way.
There it is.
You know what? Show us. Arenado.
There we go.
A lot of people think you get in your mid-30s and your career's over, but like I always say, until they stop scouting, I ain't going to stop playing.
Okay, good. So this could be Gorman then.
Yeah. We need a DH.
Yeah.
Or
you do.
Right fielder. Or it could be Walker or Paez.
I think, well, who's the catcher today?
It's going to be Paez.
So,
not Pozo. Herrera is hurt.
Pozo's clutch, though.
Yeah, he had a pass ball, too.
He did. He closed his glove too soon.
I'm
That
so
was weird.
sick of these guys, man. What the hell? Catch the damn ball.
Yeah.
You're a catcher.
It was Michaelis throwing, too. Wasn't like it was very fast.
Oh, that was a... You just
movement, though. A lot of movement.
He closed his glove early.
He closed his eyes.
Is supposed to enter the glove, feel the snap, and then you...
Yeah.
And he was like, hit the back of his hand.
He thought it was an off-speed. Or maybe he thought it was a fast.
I don't know, whatever. I think this is Gorman here.
Go ahead.
Show us Nolan Gorman.
Swing Serenade is brought to you by Gorman.
Dingers! Hang me a curve and I will hit. Dingers!
Now Paez.
Scott?
Yep.
Okay. Go ahead.
Show us Pedro Paez.
Smithies, throw this at him.
Huh? You're out!
Maybe. Show us Victor Scott II.
Run, run, run as fast as you can. You can't catch me. I'm the gingerbread man.
Welcome back,
Nice job,
Anthony.
boys.
Well done.
Nice job. Way to go. Marshy, run that.
All right, leading off, second baseman Brendan Donovan. Batting second, the shortstop Mason Wynn. Batting third in right field is Alec Burleson. Your cleanup hitter, first baseman Wilson Contreras. Batting fifth in left field is Lars Nootbaar. Batting sixth, third baseman. No. Batting seventh, the DH is Nolan Gorman. Batting eighth and catching, Pedro Pajes. And batting ninth in center field, Victor Scott II.
Back. Stay fair! Stay fair!
Go foul!
I don't believe what I just saw.
Home run.
So who's leading this? Jamie, right?
Jamie Rivers has 13
Jamie.
points. CD with 10. Anthony, you have 5, and I have 3.
I didn't hit any last week, huh?
Nope.
Ouch.
All right. I mean, I'd be a fool not to do this. Give me Alec Burleson.
Give me Nolan Gorman.
That's who I wanted. I will take Wilson Contreras.
All right, I'm going to take Thomas Sajaci off the bench.
Wow. A little early in the game to be throwing some Hail Marys, Marsh.
What are you talking about? I'm down by 10 right now.
Still a whole season. Got a lot of time.
I mean, this is only one of 162.
Thank you, Jamie. Tell him.
Yeah.
Wow.
Got another
All right.
chance tomorrow.
Very true. We got the Gauntlet. How'd you guys do last week?
I lost in overtime.
Oh, no.
Yeah, you did.
Yeah.
Did somebody mop them up the next day?
No, he's coming back today, I think.
Oh, so you lost on Friday.
Yeah, he
Yeah, we actually lost a few times last week. VIP Pat took Carey and myself down twice in random. Jamie had to
What category
step
did you
in.
get?
I got him in baseball, I believe.
He got him in baseball.
Okay, good.
But we lost in random, and then Anthony came in. Not you, a different Anthony.
Yeah.
Beat Carey in hockey.
And then beat up in hockey.
So Anthony's back. Could we see Anthony on Anthony Crime today?
Right.
Let's find out next on 101 ESPN.
categories, one challenger. Can you survive the Gauntlet?
Brought to you by Blue Note Roofing. Roofing, siding, and gutters. Visit BlueNoteRoofingSTL.com for a free inspection.
4:05, your time check is brought to you by Clarkson Jewelers, an officially licensed Rolex jeweler with Carey Davis, Jamie Rivers, and Andrew Marsh. I'm Anthony Stalter, and we welcome in another Anthony who knocked off Carey on Friday. What's up, Anthony?
Hey, how's it going, guys?
Doing good, man. Appreciate you playing. Thanks for listening. And after beating Carey on Friday, who would you like to take on today, Marsh, Jamie, or me?
Well, I think you've been off for a week. I'm going to give you a break today, Anthony. I'm going to go with Jamie Rivers.
Perfect.
Ooh. All right, Anthony, let's do this, baby. Good luck.
All right, let's go.
All right, so Jamie's going to head into the cone of silence. Anthony, you're going to tell Marsh to spin that wheel.
All right, Marshy, spin that wheel.
All right, what are you hoping for, Anthony?
I'd probably say baseball might be my strongest, but we'll see.
Okay, Marsh has got a horrified look on his face.
Ooh, it is random today.
Completely 100% random. You okay with that, Anthony?
I'm okay with it.
All right, so you're going to get 4 random questions, all worth 2 points, unless you ask for the options. If you ask for the options, those questions, thank you, Marsh, will be worth 1 point. Jamie will receive the same 4 questions. Are you ready?
I'm ready.
Who has hosted the reality series Survivor since its debut in 2000?
That would be Mr. Jeff Probst. Final answer.
Okay, question number 2. Plaster of Paris is prepared by heating which of our minerals to between 120 and 180 degrees Celsius?
Options.
Is it gypsum, cleavage, or quartz?
What was the second one?
Cleavage. Cleavage.
Okay. I have no idea what that is. We're going to go with the Stalter method, and we'll go with cleavage. Final answer.
Stalter method being, of course, the one that
makes no sense.
Mm-hmm. You like that answer. Mm-hmm. Question number 3. Only 2 kinds of egg-laying mammals are left on the planet. The duck-billed platypus and...
Options.
Options are...
Good luck.
The echnopus. I have no idea how to say that.
Nailed it.
Echnopus.
The brush-tailed marsupial mouse, or the spiny anteater.
Let's go with the echnopus. Final answer.
Sounds good.
All right, final question for you, Anthony. Before rocketing to stardom as a guitarist, Jimi Hendrix enlisted briefly in which of our military branches?
Well, it probably doesn't make sense to take the options. I don't know the answer, but I will just go with Army. Final answer.
All right. Let's bring back Jamie from the cone of silence. Anthony, how you feeling?
I definitely knew the first answer, and the rest is a crapshoot.
Okay. Well, we'll see how Jamie does today. Coming back from the cone of silence right now. Jamie, how was it?
Really quiet. I thought Ryder was still going to be here. I was kind of looking forward to talking with him a little bit, see how the weekend went. But crickets in there.
Here you go.
Here you go.
All right, Jamie.
Yeah.
Your category today is random.
I love random. It's the best.
Pack a lunch.
Oh, okay.
Question 1.
Yeah.
Who has hosted the reality series Survivor since its debut in 2000?
Jeff Probst. Final answer.
Question number 2. Plaster of Paris is prepared by heating which of our minerals to between 120 and 180 degrees Celsius?
What?
Yeah, that's what I said.
Okay. I was just talking about this with the guys the other day over at the bar. But let's narrow it down. Give me the option, please.
Is it...
Bless you, Anthony.
Thank you. Gypsum, cleavage, or quartz?
Well, give me cleavage. Final answer. I mean...
What? Question number 3. A hell of a mineral. Only 2 kinds of egg-laying mammals are left on the planet. The duck-billed platypus and...
I think I actually know this one, and I'm not lying, but give me the options.
The options are the echinopus,
No.
The brush-tailed marsupial mouse or the spiny anteater?
It's the spiny anteater. Final answer.
Final question. Before rocketing to stardom as a guitarist, Jimi Hendrix enlisted briefly in which of our military branches?
That would be the Army, because Jimi Hendrix used to wear his Army jacket on stage from time to time, in particular when he used to do the Star Spangled Banner.
Mm-hmm.
I think. Final answer.
All right, let's go over these. Jamie versus Anthony, round 2 for Anthony. Who has hosted the reality series Survivor since its debut in 2000? You both said Jeff Probst. Correct answer is...
Yeah, it's Jeff Probst.
Nice job. Neither of you needed the options on that one.
Easy one there.
We got a 2-2 tie. Before rocketing to stardom as a guitarist, Jimi Hendrix enlisted briefly in which of our military branches? You both said Army. Correct answer is...
It's the Army.
That's correct. Neither of you needed the options for that one. You got a 4-4 tie.
Wow, nice, Anthony.
Plaster of Paris is prepared by heating which of our minerals to between 120 and 180 degrees Celsius? You both took the options. You both wanted cleavage. Correct answer is...
It's gypsum.
It's gypsum.
Oh, man.
It's gypsum.
It's a shame. Should have been the other for sure.
We're all tied up, 4-4. Comes down to this. Only 2 kinds of egg-laying mammals are left on the planet. The duck-billed platypus, and you both took the options. Jamie, you said the spiny anteater. You said, I know this one.
Yeah.
Took the options. You heard the options. You
I
went
feel
with
like I really know this.
spiny anteater. Anthony went with the echinopus. One of you is correct.
Oh, man, I'm not happy about this.
Anthony.
You have chosen poorly.
You lose.
Not today.
Anthony, it was the spiny anteater. I'm so sorry, man.
That was a good fight, Jamie.
Good job, Anthony. That was very well done, my friend.
You guys both did well. 5-4 was the final on that one. So, Anthony, appreciate you playing. Thanks for listening, and we hope you try again at some point.
All right. Thanks, guys. Appreciate it.
Take care. Nice job, Jamie. You avoided the penalty box today.
Yeah,
all because you knew the spiny anteater.
There was a book that I was reading a while, looking at, and it was the mammal thing. And I knew the platypus one, but I wasn't quite sure. So I'm glad I paid attention.
You narrowed it down.
Yeah, I did.
Nice job there, kid.
Yeah.
Nice job. All right. It's Fastline on 101 ESPN. That was the Gauntlet. How do the Blues avoid becoming the Nashville Predators? We'll get to that next on 101 ESPN.
Hey, it's Gary Davis for Genesis of St. Charles, and you should let Genesis of St. Charles introduce you to the sweet life of benefits designed to exceed your expectations. They have a luxury service, experienced luxury service at their brand new facility located right off of Mid-Rivers Mall and Highway 70. They have the large selection of new Genesis models in stock ready for you to take home today. They're Missouri's first and only standalone Genesis dealership. You should stop in today for exclusive in-store offers. Genesis owners get a complimentary scheduled maintenance for 3 years or 36,000 miles, whichever comes first. And let Genesis of St. Charles, they can come to you to service valet. They'll service your vehicle without you ever having to leave your home or work. A valet will pick up your vehicle, maintenance it, and then return it when it's done, which again is complimentary for those 3 years or 36,000 miles. If you have a busy schedule, you don't want to get in, you don't have to. They can help you completely, entirely online with clear and upfront pricing, including your trade-in, even have it delivered up to 100 miles of the dealership. Visit them today online at genesisofstcharles.com. That's genesisofstcharles.com.
It's a fast lane on 101 ESPN. Carey Davis, Andrew Marsh, Jamie Rivers. I'm Anthony Stalter. Played a couple of Doug Armstrong military availability. Slow down there, Stalter. Doug Armstrong was available to the media today. One of the things that he discussed was how to avoid mistakes like what we have seen the Nashville Predators make. So here's Army on that.
I don't want to dissect what happened in Nashville. I think what we're going to do is continue to grow with the team from last year to next year. You know, we're not looking to bring in like core pieces to change, to take over our team. Whether we backslide or not, it's going to be based on the guys that are in the room that were there last year, then us going out and bringing in 3 or 4 top-end free agents and pushing to become Dallas or the top teams in the league. We're not going to do that.
All right, so Jamie, before we dive into the reaction to what Doug Armstrong was saying, because I think we should provide some context here.
Yep.
We all know Nashville wasn't good last season.
Yeah.
But what specific mistakes did they make that led to what we saw, which was a ruin? It was an awful season.
Yeah, so it's really kind of interesting to me to see what happened, because Barry Trotz, when he took over as general manager of the Predators, he bought out Johansson, Matt Duchene, and moved on from any player that he thought was not a culture guy. He said, we're getting the culture back in the locker room here in Nashville. They went on to sign Ryan O'Reilly, and then they went on to have a very surprising season. Not this past season, the season before. And then Barry Trotz one morning woke up and completely changed his plan from rebuilding the team with young players and solid core pieces. No, he went nuts. He said, Stamkos is available, we're going to sign him. Marchessault's available, we're going to sign him too. We're gonna give him big money because we're ready to make that next step. We got O'Reilly, we got this, we got that, we got that. Problem is, Stamkos and Marchessault are almost the same player.
Mm-hmm.
So those two guys were fighting for their own ice time and fighting for pucks and fighting for power play time the whole season long. Not literally fighting, but they occupy basically the same job. And what you did by doing that is you gave Steven Stamkos $8 million a year for 4 years. You gave Marchessault $5.5 million. You gave Forsberg $8.5 million. He's already your player, but you still gave him $8. You have a lot of money now tied up into those guys. Roman Yossi's making $9 million a year. Brady Shea, by the way, was another guy they brought in for $7 million. No, thank you. And he gave him 6 years, or 8 years rather, or 7. Sorry. You had nothing left. Like you had Jeremy Lauzon, Justin Barron, Nick Blankenburg, and Adam Wilsby. That was the rest of your defense corps. You're asking me what happened? Like, that's what happened. And you had Michael Bunting that came in. Colton Sissons, he's fine. Cole Smith, Fedor Svechkov, Michael McCarron, Zach LaRue. Like, you weren't able to backfill your roster with enough to support the top-heavy lineup that you had. Mm-hmm. And then this was really surprising to me. They had a fantastic young goaltender that they just moved on from for UC Soros and gave UC Soros an 8-year, no-movement clause at $7.7 million.
He ain't worth it.
The Juice, as they call him, is fine. Well, Juice. They don't call him the Juice.
That's a different person.
That's a different person. Totally different.
The Hall of Fame running back.
Yes, he was.
Yeah, he was.
Yeah. Anyways, UC Soros.
You know who I am.
AC, damn it.
I think that was a mistake. Yeah. They should have moved. Barry Trotz's plan originally was a better plan. Bring in some core pieces like Ryan O'Reilly. He had Luke Shen, too, by the way, like solid individuals. Traded Luke Shen. And promised Luke Shen. Because Luke Shen was like, I'd like to have a no-trade clause or something, because he was really happy in Nashville. Mm-hmm. And Barry Trotz, from what I gather, said, you don't have to worry about that. And then when he traded him, said, it's business. Now, this is third-party, fourth-party information. I wasn't on the phone call. I'm not going to pretend, but, whatever, okay?
Yeah.
And so you lose a solid guy in Luke Shen, not only just a great player, a great dude. You still have Ryan O'Reilly, but you've brought in some other pieces that just didn't mesh well, and you didn't have enough to support it. So that's what happened in Nashville. And that's why Army is not going to comment to that. It's professional not to talk about somebody else's misfortunes or whatever they're doing. Mm-hmm. But Army now is diligent to sticking to what the Blues are doing, which is they drafted very well and they're developing from within. And that's why the lineup for the Blues is so much better than the Predators, based on the fact that you have a large amount of your core pieces that are between the ages of 21 and 26. And that's where you've got it.
Yeah.
And now you're adding some ancillary pieces that, you've got your Cam Fowlers. You're able to add a Cam Fowler because you've got nice supporting cast around him. You're not just adding Cam Fowler and Colton Parayko, and then you have nothing else on your blue line. That's why it didn't work for Nashville.
Yeah, I think those teams, and this goes for any sport, guys, I think those teams that decide, not any sport, because baseball you can pull it off because there's no cap, but the cap sports, the teams that tend to do hey, we're going to bring in all these independent contractors, so to speak, it doesn't work out. It just doesn't. It doesn't mesh in 1 year. You start to really realize that you're overpaying certain guys that for past performances. I don't think that's smart in free agency overall. When you do that with multiple players, you give out these big contracts to guys that may have had more success where they were because of In this situation, maybe the line combination just worked out better. You're trying to build a team full of free agents. It just, I think it's a shortcut that typically doesn't work. And you're spending more money, and you don't have any flexibility because of the cap. I mean, we've seen that in the NFL, Carey.
Yeah, usually you hit the nail on the head. The best way is to draft, develop, bring your guys up and in through your system, and then you add as needed.
Right.
Like you go out and say, all right, well, the Oilers can't afford Philip Broberg and Dylan Holloway. Let me take those guys. Cam Fowler, we need a veteran defenseman. Let's go trade for him. Like, it's when you add those pieces, and that's, in my opinion, that's how you get better. Or you add a guy like Matthew Tkachuk to a team that is right there, but you need something else to get you over the hump. That's generally how good teams find a way. It's difficult to go out and pluck people from different teams and put them all and stir them up in a pot and say, all right, let's go win a championship. That's a tough way to go about winning a championship, but the way that the Blues are handling it, in my opinion, from really, I think they set this plan in motion when they started trading away Ryan O'Reilly and Tarasenko and Barbershop. Like, they started doing all of that to prepare for where they are going into next season. And I think the preparation for it and how they set the plan and kind of stuck to it and maybe veered left when they needed to because something was available, like the Oilers not able to pay.
Right.
We can go do that, and that'll speed up the process. But I think the Blues have done a great job in how they've laid the foundation for what they are and who they're going to be for the next 3 or 5 years.
And they've just stayed disciplined to their plan. Like, even listening to Army today, he has no delusions of grandeur to where he's going to be throwing money around recklessly. He's like, no, we're going to stay the course. Now, if something presents itself, then, yeah, we'll examine it. And that's what you do, and you kick the tires. And Nashville... No, Barry Trotz he's going to have a second chance at this, but it ain't going to be immediate. They've got 3 first-round picks this year and 2 second-round picks, so they have 5 picks in the first 2 rounds. That won't pay dividends for 3 or 4 years, probably, maybe even 5, but he can't screw that up. Now, it'd be interesting for me to see if he moves on from some of his current roster players, like a Stamkos or a Marchessault. Even though they have no movement clauses, those guys weren't happy playing, in a team that was subpar, especially Stamkos at the end of his career. You think he wants to be on a team that's the bottom? No. Not at all. It'll be interesting, too, to see if they get any calls on Ryan O'Reilly. He has no trade protection at all. He's only making $4.5 million, and he's still a really effective player. So
you'd like to think he'll wind up with somebody.
If Nashville decides to move on from him. Yeah. But we'll see. Maybe, to me, he's a piece you should have built around. You just put the other pieces you put around him weren't the right ones.
Right.
And then you bled your salary cap dry by overpaying certain guys.
Yeah. Sorry about your car, Nashville.
Pretty much.
It's Fastlane on 101 ESPN. Sports Six Pack is next. If you've got a question for us, 314-399-9646 is the Air Comfort Service text line. Feel free to send those questions there. Again, Sixer, next.
101 ESPN Sports Center.
I'm Andrew Marsh. It's time for a Sports Center update driven by Johnny Londoff Chevrolet and Johnny Londoff Autoplex. The Cardinals take 2 of 3 against the Reds, and they now have a date for the first time this season against the Chicago Cubs. Matthew Liberatore on the mound tonight for the Redbirds. Ben Brown for the Cubbies. First pitch tonight is at 6:45. We have our Sports Six-Pack coming up next, so get your questions into the Air Comfort Service text line 314-399-9646. We'll do our Sports Six-Pack next. I'm Andrew Marsh, and the Sports Center update is driven by Johnny Londoff Chevrolet and Johnny Londoff Autoplex. See them at londoff.com. Chevy, together we drive. Are you kidding me?
It's time for the Fast Lane to answer your sports questions.
I want to ask you a bunch of questions. I want to have them answered immediately.
Asking me all these weird questions.
Answer the question.
Answer the question.
Answer me!
The Sports Six-Pack is refreshed by the Finnish Long Drink, Finland's best-kept secret. A sparkling citrus beverage made with real liquor. Visit thelongdrink.com. Must be 21 years of age or older. Drink responsibly.
If you have a question for us, send it in to the Air Comfort Service text line 314-399-9646 with Carey Davis and Jamie Rivers. I'm Anthony Stalter. Here's Andrew Marsh.
Question number 1.
All right, this first one comes from ThrillFan22. Why do you guys think Doug Armstrong gets so much credit and John Mozeliak gets so much hate when Mo has a better winning percentage and basically the same methods of building a team?
I don't agree with the same methods of building a team. I mean, Army's done it twice here now to where he had an extended period of time where the Blues were in a not just winning window, but championship window. Now they ran into some good teams on their way to the Stanley Cup Finals and didn't quite get past that threshold. And right now, currently, in the last 2 years, the way the Blues have gone about their business, the results are similar right now, but I just think for me, it's the approval rating from the fans that feel like they're being included in the process. Whereas the Blues feel like they're sitting side by side with you while they do this, where the Cardinals and John Mozeliak feels like he's staring down the end of his nose at you like you're beneath him. Mm-hmm. And I think that's where the criticism lies. It becomes a popularity contest, I think. And more people in St. Louis identify with Doug Armstrong, who says crazy stuff.
Yep.
Like take a knife and jam it into his skull and kill him and do all that. Like all this.
In fairness, it was through the eye.
Through the eye.
Into his brain and kill him.
Yeah. Whereas.
He's just avoiding the skull altogether.
Whereas John Mozeliak is, net.
Eye socket.
There's a hole there. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
There is.
Yeah.
There is. Mm-hmm. But then again, John Mozeliak is the net guy.
Yeah, John Mozeliak isn't as relatable to the fan base when he's speaking as Doug Armstrong is. I think that's a big part of it. I also think that when people started to grow frustrated with the Cardinals, yes, there was like a Goldschmidt trade or an Arenado trade, and that was exciting. But after that, I think the frustration grew and grew and grew, and it almost became stale the way Mo was building his rosters. I think there was a boredom that set in. It was frustration, then boredom. And you just didn't have the same hope that you did with the Blues, or that you do with the Blues. I think that's really what it was. Mm-hmm. You didn't feel like things were going to get different. There were things were going to get better. That things were going to be different with the Cardinals.
I think the difference, too, is that Doug Armstrong, there was a point in time when fans were not happy with Doug Armstrong, probably around the Petro time when they let him go and the Blues ended up not being that good. But then he had time to get this team back on track, whereas now John Mozeliak, we won't get to see that because Chaim Bloom's coming in.
Right.
So if John Mozeliak was still here for the foreseeable future in that role and the team got back on track to where they were a World Series contender, maybe his perception from the fans changes.
Sure.
But now I don't know if he ends up getting that because Chaim Bloom's coming in.
I do hope that there is a greater appreciation for Mo when he's done. given enough time, I hope the reflection is, hey, he accomplished a lot here in St. Louis. Man, I used to be really frustrated, but I do appreciate what
you wonder over the course of time.
Over the course of time, not like he's done final, but maybe 2 or 3 years down the road.
It's like the Star Wars prequel trilogy, Anthony. You got to give it time before you can really appreciate it.
Yeah, I'm not a fan.
Not a fan of the movies, or not a fan of even watching them.
I've been watching at home. Reed, Ashley's young guys, went back to start like episode 1 and try to work his way up, and then. The original one, episode 4, what I grew up on. We watched episode 3 last night. Not bad. But then episode 4 is a whole other level. Like, it's just so much better.
It is.
Sorry, guys.
Sorry
if that's a bad take.
I haven't seen.
No, it's fine.
The first episode is a tough watch, but when you get to Duel of the Fates, it's incredible.
Question number 2.
Oh, no. I believe you.
Yes.
Yeah. That's with Darth Maul, Anthony. I'm sure you've heard of him.
Who is Darth?
He's the red face.
He's the red face.
Darth Vader's child?
No. That's Luke Skywalker.
Oh.
Yeah.
Darth Maul is the guy with the dual-wield lightsaber.
And he's a bad mamma jamma.
He's like
He
the
is.
staff,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Who would win, him or Darth Vader himself?
Probably Darth Vader.
Probably Darth Vader.
All right. Because he's got magic, too.
The dark
It's called
side
the Force,
is very
Anthony.
strong.
Yeah.
He had the Force in him, Anthony.
It's called the Force.
That's not appropriate. And somebody should have stopped him long before he did what he did.
Yeah, but some
If he
say
was forcing himself on people,
some
that's...
say that the Emperor is the one who had the Force into Darth Vader. Turned to the dark side.
Why would you?
That's wrong, too.
Yeah.
I don't like...
There's a theory. That's actually a theory. Jamie is actually correct that there's a theory that it was a Force baby.
Yes.
Oh, that's just terrible.
Wow,
That's just awful. I don't
Hey
like
guys,
this at all.
we just describe what we see. We didn't do it.
Anthony, why don't you watch the movies and then you can get into this conversation?
You let me know how it goes.
You let the adults talk.
You let me know how it goes. If you enjoy it, I might still not watch it.
You still haven't watched Reacher.
I haven't.
Yeah, that's it. That's it.
That
Now
is
that's your
bad,
fault.
though, Carey. Yeah. I was with you up until Marsh brought up the Reacher.
Yeah.
Damn it, Marsh.
Sorry.
Come on. You said you were going to watch it that one weekend, too.
No,
He lied.
He did.
I didn't lie.
Yeah,
Did you ever watch the movie one? The creepy...
So I was going to watch it. It looked very creepy.
What one?
Yeah.
What's inside? It's what's inside. I turned it on.
I've seen that one.
Over the week. Not that
That's different. This one's available on Netflix.
Hey, you let me borrow it, Anthony.
That's on Netflix.
Yeah,
the one that we're talking about.
You told me make sure you rewind it when you're done.
Yeah, Jamie again. That's different. This is the Netflix. You were going to watch it, and you didn't.
So I turned it on. I was like, man, it looks a little weird. And I ended up ended up watching a movie called Plane, I think, with Gerard Butler.
So you didn't even watch it?
That movie had to be terrible.
Completely changed directions.
Actually, Anthony is Gerard Butler, according to some.
Yes, thank you. It gets worse.
It looked
Yeah,
it looked like psychedelic, creepy.
Dude, I told you what transpires.
Yeah, I could.
And I said I felt awful watching it, and you go, oh, cool, I want to watch it. And then you don't even make it all the way through?
I didn't make it past the preview. I watched the preview. I was like,
all right.
They putting electric nodes on their brain, on their skull.
Okay.
And now they're in
Question number 2.
Seems strange.
I'm into it now.
Yeah, James can watch it.
All right, from the 910, which major force sport should adopt relegation? The same teams are terrible every season.
Baseball.
Yeah, wow.
Well, the tanking is just terrible.
Yes.
Like the NHL, you have a team that I don't say they tank. They go into full rebuild. It's kind of ugly, but it's not like look at baseball. Like some of those teams are not trying for decades.
Right.
Not a rebuild. Just not trying.
I'd rather watch the Savannah Bananas get a chance than
Savannah Banana.
The White Sox
or the A's. Think about that.
Or the Rockies.
The A's are playing well. They're not in last place.
No.
He says that like it's a major.
No, it is.
They're not the embarrassment that the White Sox are.
When they don't even have like a name. They're just the Athletics. Like when you go to ESPN.com, they got Chicago White Sox, Cleveland Guardians, Houston Astros, Athletics.
Yep.
You don't have a location.
No.
Nobody wants you.
Well, they are in last place, Carey.
Well, no, not in their division, I'm sure. I mean, in all of baseball and in the American League.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're not terrible.
But baseball is absolutely the answer.
Yeah.
Hey, the Athletics got a 5-year plan.
What is it? Don't die?
If you got a 5-year, you think that's the plan?
I don't know. That seems like a difficult one.
Question number 3.
I got that one. I'm glad you followed up with that. From the 801, should the NHL open up the playoffs to add a play-in?
No. Hate it. Basketball does it. It's a joke. Next.
Gary?
Sure.
Oh, yeah, because he wants to defend his basketball.
One game.
It's stupid.
Win or go home.
It's dumb.
I mean, it's like 15 teams to get in anyways.
16, Carey.
I'm talking about in one conference, Jamie.
No, 8.
No. It feels like 15.
Yeah.
All right, we're going to continue our six-pack. Marsh gave us the green light. He gave us the green light today. He gave us the green light to do another sixer.
Oh, what a nice guy.
He's proud of you.
314-399-9646, the Air Comfort Service text line. Keep those questions coming in. That's next on 101 ESPN. Jamie, what was it now? Over a year ago, you took me down to Mentality, and you literally took me into there. And you said, listen, just sit down, tell them how you're feeling, man. Because I had asked you, I said, Jamie, what's the secret, man? I saw you struggle with having the 418 jobs that you still have, right? Tired all the time, whatever, but then you're rip-roaring there, and it's Mentality. He said, just come down here, tell them how you're feeling. Because I was feeling a little bit, run down and lacking the energy with 3 little kids, man. That's not allowed. It's not possible, right? So you took me on Mentality. I sat there. I was honest about how I was feeling. I jumped on their program, and I started feeling great, too.
The problem with all of it is when you start to feel tired, run down, you're not accomplishing things, then you start to feel depressed. You feel lesser than, and that's a massive problem. We don't need that. You don't need that. We're not lesser than. We're just suffering from low testosterone, but we don't know it until we go into Mentality, and they draw your blood, and they tell you exactly what's going on, and then they immediately put you on a program that is your own program, and within a week or 2, you start to see differences, and then 3, 4, 5 weeks as you keep going, it is unreal. I highly recommend it to any guy out there, 30, 40, 50 years old. Get in there, talk to them. It's covered by most insurances, so that's a bonus as well. But it will change your life, and you will thank us when you see us. And again, 2 locations, South County, Chesterfield. When you go into those locations, make sure you tell them that Jamie and Anthony sent you in. They are going to take great care of you. And for more information, you can always visit mentalityhealth.com/radio. Again, that is mentalityhealth.com/radio.
question?
It's time for the Fast Lane to answer your sports questions.
I want to ask you a bunch of questions, and I want to have them answered immediately.
Asking me all these weird questions.
Answer the question.
Answer the question.
Answer me!
The Sports Six-Pack is refreshed by the Finnish Long Drink, Finland's best-kept secret. A sparkling citrus beverage made with real liquor. Visit thelongdrink.com. Must be 21 years of age or older. Drink responsibly.
Splashback Deuce in the Snake Pit said that you guys did 2-part 6-packs all last week. Is that true?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
Was it all week?
Yep.
What the hell, Marsh?
Carey came in and bullied Marshy. I didn't stop him.
I didn't.
And then as soon as I came back, you went right back to the one-parter.
Yeah.
That's tells me all I need to know.
Sounds like he's bullying Anthony.
Tells me all I need to know.
Well, after that Sam Darnold comment.
Oh, man.
I actually stand by that. Question 4, please.
That's ridiculous.
Question number 4.
Just got to open up your mind.
Okay.
From the 314, what does Jamie think about the Ducks trading Trevor Zegras to the Flyers?
Yeah, interesting trade for sure. From what I would make of this, I don't know, because, again, I'm not in Anaheim, but I imagine that Joel Quenneville sat down and went over the roster with Pat Verbeek, and they probably made a list of things that they like, don't like, things they change, all that kind of stuff. And I think that Trevor Zegras became a priority number 1 of moving on from said player. Trevor Zegras is just... He's an interesting player from the standpoint that there's a lot of skill there. But I just don't know if there is a winning hockey player in there, if that makes sense. You see a lot of players in different sports where they're really good, really skilled, but you don't know if they're a winning player. And, you look at him, he's had as high as 65 points in 22-23, injury-riddled the next couple of seasons, and then last year played only 57 games, 32 points. I don't know. To me, he's not a 200-foot player. To me, this is going to be like Rick Tocchet's worst nightmare in Philadelphia, which is why I think it's weird that the Philadelphia Flyers acquired him, because Rick Tocchet is much like Craig Berube. The 200-foot player is a must, and you block shots, and you play the game along the walls, you earn your net front battles, and Trevor Zegras is everything but that. Mm-hmm. So, interesting move to me.
Do you think that maybe he could develop into being that because he now plays for Rick Tocchet? It's a fresh start for him. There's certain players in the league that have started a certain way, and then as their career progressed, they change their game and their attitude.
Yeah, so I would compare Trevor Zegras in some ways to a Jordan Kyrou. Mm-hmm. Not completely, because I do think Jordan Kyrou has a little more 200-foot game in him. He started with more in his game, and Jordan Kyrou played well under Craig Berube, but he's thriving under Jim Montgomery, at least currently. That's what's going on there. So Rick Tocchet will either be the remedy to Trevor Zegras' game, or he will be the anti-remedy. And Trevor Zegras' time in Philadelphia will be tumultuous and cut short. Now, Rick Tocchet, although coaches a lot like Craig Berube, and certainly played the same way as Craig Berube, he has a different way of approaching things. He does have a softer side of trying to get the best out of his players, and he certainly understands that each player has a different personality and respond different ways. Where Rick Tocchet, though, gets frustrated, like when he was in Vancouver, with some of those guys, is he tried several different ways to communicate and to connect with certain star players, and they were just unwilling. And that's going to be the tough part.
He seems like a coach that you would definitely want to play for.
Yeah, he's an unbelievable guy, unbelievable coach. But after a while, if you just keep banging your head on the wall, no offense, Anthony, and you have a player that just doesn't respond.
Don't take it. You didn't say pool wall, so we're good.
Good. Or desk, for that matter. But it can be challenging sometimes.
Question number 5.
From a 636, if you could pick an active coach and switch the sport, who and what sport do you think they would succeed in?
I would switch Steve Kerr to hockey.
Why?
Why not?
I just don't know what your thought is behind it.
Well, Steve Kerr is very innovative. He their offense. They move the ball really well. A lot of spacing, finding ways to get guys in areas, in the greasy areas, in the dirty areas.
Yes.
I think Steve Kerr would be able to figure it out.
Okay.
Sure. You probably skated before.
Maybe.
Probably.
That's a good question.
I'll go with Craig Berube to the NFL, please, for $200. If Dan Campbell can take a franchise and turn it around by just being a physical, like, personality, like, you bite their kneecaps, all that stuff, I feel like Craig Berube, given the opportunity, could win over a locker room and a fan base as well.
Ravens fan.
He is a Ravens fan. He might be exactly what Lamar needs. Carey.
Interesting.
What about Tony La Russa?
Said active.
What about Tony La Russa way back in the day?
For what sport?
Never mind. It's going to be active.
But if you want to go inactive,
we'll let you if you want.
You want Sam Darnold, we'll let you do any damn thing around here.
We feel like you need a gimme here. The mulligan.
No. I'll play the game. Let's see here. I'm just going to ignore you guys.
Marshy, do you have one?
Big time jerks.
While Anthony whittles away here?
Yeah, I'm trying to think.
I'm just trying to think.
I know.
You know.
I'm giving you a moment.
Try it sometime.
What? Couldn't hear you. My glasses are off.
It's actually not a
He
joke.
wasn't here for that.
Who was it?
It's not a joke I really like. I don't like doing that, but I feel like I had to swing back at some point.
I appreciate
It's been
it.
too long.
I appreciate it.
Man, Steve Kerr is a good one. Who's like a really strategist, like a big time strategist?
Big time strategist.
For what?
Like Kyle Shanahan, I feel like could probably.
I don't think football guys know anything other than football.
But Carey, we're assuming that they're going to know the
I wouldn't
other
go with
sport.
Kyle Shanahan. You know, I wouldn't do that.
I know you wouldn't. That's
Carey doesn't like him.
honestly,
I don't dislike him.
But you don't like him.
I just don't think.
If I was going inactive, if we were doing inactive, I'd actually pick Mike Matheny because his kids played hockey growing up.
Yes, big hockey guy.
Big hockey guy. So if we were going inactive, I'd pick Mike Matheny to be an NHL coach.
And I'll add one more. I'll go Dan Campbell to coach in the NHL.
There you go.
I'd go Tony Dungy.
To coach what?
Anywhere.
Active.
He just said someone
Active.
that was inactive.
So, and if
Got to be active. That's what you told
I
me.
think Tony Dungy's pretty active. I see him on TV. He's in good shape.
Active coaching. Here's Andy Reid.
For what?
Baseball.
Why? Yeah. Okay.
Don't make me say it.
Why? Why baseball?
Kyle Shanahan
Why baseball?
for baseball.
Why?
Sean McVay. Baseball.
Tell us why. Why baseball?
Sean McVay's got the best lineup. Oh.
Wow. That came out of nowhere.
Steve Kerr. Baseball.
So the water boy, if we were to go with college coaches, the water boy says Deion Sanders.
What sport?
Baseball.
Baseball.
Well, but he played baseball.
Yeah.
That's the
Exactly.
point.
Yeah, I don't know. That's a kind of a cheat code there.
It could be the answer, though.
That could be the only answer. Charlie Ward is a college coach. He's coaching college basketball. He can coach football.
You could. Heisman.
Heisman Trophy winner. You know your stuff, Anthony.
Thank you, sir.
Proud of you.
Question
the only
number
one.
6.
I want to win a Heisman and not play it down.
Kind of strange.
From the 801.
It is amazing.
Do you guys think the Panthers players have been classless or gone over the line in their parade and celebrations, or are some fan bases just sensitive?
I think it's a combination of both, to be honest.
You think they're going over the top?
Well, so let me just ask you something. If you're on stage or partying and whatnot, you had a microphone in your face, do you really say something negative about
Jamie? Do you think that they're under the influence or not?
I know, but that's what even Carey, look at me.
That makes it
I've
worse.
made a lot of bad decisions under the influence. That doesn't make the decisions excusable.
You just won a championship.
I just didn't like the look of some of it. That's all. I didn't like
Was it Marchand that did the tweet sending all the
No,
thank
that didn't
yous?
bother me. What bothered
I
me
thought
is
that was
some
cool.
of the players just saying things like F the Oilers, F McDavid, and they're wearing T-shirts that say losers instead of Oilers, but with the Oilers logo. Like, I just don't.
Well, if you
I'm
don't
sorry,
like it,
it's not for
play
me. I understand that, but Carey,
But they're together. They go to dinners together.
listen, guys, I just didn't like the look of it, and I just
You know what
I
the
never will.
Oilers,
agree with
you. Know
you.
what the Oilers should do next time they play them?
What?
Drop the gloves.
It's fine,
As
Carey.
soon as the puck drops.
Or score a
Punch
goal
somebody
first.
in the face.
Panthers.
Or score first. That usually
The Florida Panthers
3 times.
should respect the other team that has managed to get there twice alongside them. You can say whatever you want and celebrate. I don't think your celebration is greater by talking smack about the other team that you've already beaten.
Yeah.
That's my opinion on, and I won't change.
I agree. I'm done seeing all the content on the internet. Let's move on.
All right, there you go. To Just for Men.
Seriously.
Beards for you guys.
You know what I know? When you feel like you've been backed into a corner, you're going to swing at whoever the hell is close.
Totally.
You already just swung at
Well,
Jamie.
who's the fool that got close enough? You
And
know?
now,
Right? It's
we
his
didn't
fault,
even-
not
we
yours.
didn't even get close.
Anthony's walking
He's
towards
walking
us.
out of the corner.
I should walk the other way.
Jeez.
You know what I'm going to do? Gonna start throwing.
Anthony, we brought this up last week while you were gone. That Carey and I will complete our duties for the Just for Men beer when Jamie does the Waffle House challenge.
No, but here, no. The problem is, I wasn't even in the damn building to agree to that bet. So that's null and void. These guys sat eyeball to eyeball.
I don't
with us.
remember being here that day.
You know what I know?
Well, I got YouTube that can show you.
Yeah, pull it up.
Jamie.
What?
The video.
Oh.
That video.
Do you know what I know about these two? They're professionals. They're professionals. They know they agree to that punishment.
We'll do it.
And they'll do it, Jamie.
When he does his.
I didn't agree to a punishment.
I wasn't here for that.
Carey Davis actually agreed to dyeing his beard platinum blonde. That's what he agreed to. He wasn't here when we discussed it, but that's what he agreed to.
We'll dye our beards when Brandon gives Carey his $1,000.
Where is
I
Brandon?
haven't seen Brandon in a while.
Oh, no.
Need him $1,000.
Is he okay, you
Said
think?
I couldn't go a
I
whole
think he's
segment.
okay. I
Being-
just think he's maybe not as active on the snake pit anymore.
Oh, that's too bad. All right. We got the biggest question of the day. It's back.
Yes.
It's sponsored by our friends at Mentality. So we're going to do the biggest question of the day, and it's Cardinals related. That's next on 101 ESPN.
Circus Sports doing massive things right now. They've got some great contests coming up here that are currently actually open for registration. And there's $21 million in guaranteed prizes for the Circa Million and Circa Survivor contest. There's no rake either. So what that means is if the entries go above the guarantee, all that extra money right back into the prize pool. Now, you have to register in person at Circa Sportsbook in Nevada. You got Las Vegas, Henderson, Sparks, Reno, doesn't matter. Get into the building, register for your contest, and then the beauty of this, you have the Circa Sports Illinois app where you can manage everything for the rest of the term of that contest. And the Circa Sports app is awesome because they have the best odds. Go on to any app, check out the odds for any game, and you'll see that Circa Sports has better odds, which means bigger payouts for you. It's super user-friendly, tight money line splits. It's just a lot of fun to use. Super user-friendly, too. Easy to find on their website or at the App Store as well. So please don't miss out on all of this action. Download Bet Like a Pro with your Circa Sports Illinois app today and join in on all the excitement. If you or someone you know may have a problem with gambling, call 1-800-GAMBLER or text ILGAMB to 833-234.
biggest question of the day, brought to you by Mentality. Our patients experience a 30% increase in testosterone levels. Reclaim your health at mentalityhealth.com/radio.
5:05, your time check is brought to you by Clarkson Jewelers, an officially licensed Rolex jeweler. Our biggest question of the day is back, and Carey, you actually posed the question to us in the break, or not the break, but the pre-show meeting. And I think it's a good one as the Cardinals get ready to open up a new series against the Cubs.
Yeah, 4-game series versus the Chicago Cubs, who are obviously leading the division, beating your Cardinals, ahead of your Cardinals right now by 4.5 games. If the Cardinals sweep this series, firmly putting themselves in position to be number one in the division, do they go out and just go ahead and go after some trades and be vigilant in the trade market now as opposed to waiting to the trade deadline? Similar to what the Giants just did with getting Rafael Devers. The longer you wait, the more teams are going to be attempting to make trades and buyers at the trade deadline. Yeah. You got more competition at the trade deadline than you would have here in the next couple of weeks. Do you just say fast lane it? We're right here. We're a half game out of the division lead. Let's go for it, and let's go find a trade partner to add to this roster, to add to this bullpen, to add to this starting rotation, whatever the case may be.
I don't think they go actively looking for rotation help. I think that they're. I think that. I mean, I'm pretending I'm the Cardinals here right now. I would still look to move 2 of the 3 pitchers that I've talked about for a week now.
Even if you're half a game out?
Yep, Fetty, Michaelis, and Matz. I'm looking to move 2 of the 3 and get some guys back. Maybe I wouldn't be opposed to trading those guys to getting some bullpen help, because I feel like the bullpen is fracturing a little bit here right now. But, you know, Michael McGreevy is going to pitch, I guess, in the 4th game of the series against the Cubs coming up. I need a spot for him. I think he gives my team a chance to win when he's on the bump. So if I lose Fetty or Michaelis or both for that matter, I can backfill with McGreevy, and then if Matz is still around, we can move him back to the rotation. He's proven in the past he can be an adequate guy there. I don't think you can veer off the course if you're the Cardinals. I don't think doing the Nashville Predators thing is what you do now. You go, oh, wow, we're better than we thought. Let's just do this and add this player and lose this young player or prospect. I stay the course. It's kind of like Doug Armstrong last year at the trade deadline. There were lots of options available. I'm sure people were knocking at the door for Braden Shen and maybe some other players too at the same time. He ended up doing nothing. And I could see the Cardinals doing the same thing. I would think that's a mistake. Again, I think you have to move on from 2 of the 3 pitchers that I mentioned. And if you do that, you get some help.
Can I make a prediction on this? Like what I think the Cardinals are going to do? I think Mo is terrified of these types of decisions.
Oh, yeah.
I think Mo is absolutely terrified that if he trades, if he want, even if the game plan was, hey, let's trade Steven Matz, let's trade Miles Michaelis, let's trade the expiring contracts. Let's do that and stick with the plan, because the plan is developing your young guys. You're in a retool. It makes sense to get rid of the expiring contracts, regardless of where you are. You know, you're a half game out at the trade deadline, you're a full game out, you're 3 games out, whatever it may be. I think it makes sense to trade those expiring contracts, like Jamie just said. I don't think Mo will do it. I think if they're within striking distance, I don't think he does a thing.
It's a missed opportunity then.
Outside of getting. Now, again, I'm not saying this is what I would do. I'm making a prediction on what Mo would do. Outside of adding maybe a reliever, I think Mo won't want to touch it. He won't do anything.
But he can easily get something for Fetty. Easily.
So he thinks he should sell.
Yeah.
You
sell the pieces you should be selling.
Stand pat.
No, I think that's what they will do.
You think they will?
I think
if you are a half game out and you just swept the Cubs, then what the hell are you waiting on?
I don't think he's going to
get what you need.
What are you going to get?
What
are you giving up, Carey?
I don't know. Give up something.
I understand. But it's easy to say, go get something. But what have you got?
Yeah, I'm sure you got something. You got prospects.
But what?
You got prospects. You always got pitching prospects.
So that's the best way to do it?
I'm asking.
Completely disagree.
Well, we're on opposite sides.
Yeah, because right now your prospect pool that you have that's worth anything at all are going to be players for your team.
What's the biggest need for this team? You still need a middle of the lineup
Top end pitching.
Top end pitching. Okay.
That I think is their biggest
And I
need.
don't think you have anything right now that's going to send it to up
Ryan
for
Helsley.
top end pitcher.
Well, they're not trading top end pitcher for that.
No, right, and they're not gonna. If they're gonna sit there and add, they're not gonna do that. By the way, I still think that they should get rid of the expiring contracts. Yeah. Depending on the return, though.
Well, yeah. Because there's no market for Michaelis.
Right. Then
I think there's a market for Fetty. He's pitched well enough over the last 2 seasons. Well enough.
Yeah, and if I can't replace Eric Fetty within my organization, I'm sorry, then let's go.
McGreevy just waiting for his chance.
Yeah. I'm not. I think Eric Fetty is the epitome of fine. He's fine. If somebody's willing to overpay for Eric Fetty at the deadline, by all means, see ya.
So don't do anything. Just ride it out.
No, I think Mo.
Nah, that's fine. Now, I want the listeners to hear this. I am the one saying,
don't you dare
do everything you need to do to make it to the damn playoffs.
Blow it up.
And these two are saying, don't do anything.
When
Trade
has
away
Mo
starting
ever
pitching.
done anything at the deadline?
It's fine. Marshy.
Carey,
sorry.
I'm with Marshy
2011.
now. And you
Carey,
two.
I've said trade 2 of the 3 pitchers.
Trade them. Yeah.
I did.
Even if
Outside
you're
of
a half game out of
2011,
first place.
when has Mo
You're a
done
half
anything
game
at
out
the
of first
deadline?
This guy wants to mortgage the entire future on
You're
a
half
possibility
game
of
out of
making the
first place.
playoffs.
You and I want to
Welcome to the Nashville
protect the Cardinals.
Predators right here. Carey
We want
Davis.
the Cardinals to be great for years to come.
I agree.
Carey wants them bounce in the first round.
If they get there, because there's no guarantee.
Well, interesting. I agree. I agree with you.
What the heck, Carey?
I agree with you.
What are you doing?
I agree with you. You're right. I was wrong. It's a bad take.
Are you doing the thing that I do?
Yeah, it's a bad take.
I don't even know what's going on now. I've lost sight of
So
everything.
what do I do?
I know it's what you do, but I don't expect it from him.
You guys are
very
right.
true.
You guys are better looking. You're smarter. That's what you always do.
You're smart. I'm dumb.
Oh, that's not true. We're not smart.
You're handsome. I'm not attractive.
Just wondering.
Okay. What would you do in all seriousness?
I wouldn't do anything. I don't think they're going to sweep the Cubs either. So
What the?
But you don't think here's where I'm going. I don't think Mo will do anything.
Son of a.
the question was, if they swept the Cubs and they're half game out, should they go for it?
No.
Should they make it? Should they make a push?
No.
It was a question that was posed. I agree with you.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
But you just traded everybody. You were going for it.
High fives. There we go.
Hell was that?
What's the thing you like to do?
One
thing.
One team.
But I don't want to touch you again. Now, hell no. That was so weird. Okay.
Marsh, where were you on this? My bad. Thank you.
I've been blinded by Carey.
Oh, wow.
And his lack of togetherness.
Yeah,
I was just together with you on that one.
Yeah. With what, the Stanley Cup? Look how that worked out.
Oh, now you don't want to be teammates, huh? See?
One loss.
We lose.
One loss. Fractured.
One loss.
Could have been up 2-0 in the series.
Oh, he's still
And he had to send that text.
It really did turn.
It did.
When you sent that text.
And it never quite got their footing.
Nope.
It's my fault.
CD sent that text. Game
The
one.
guy that never skated in his life.
Panthers going to lose. Oilers going to win this. Never the same. The Oilers never recovered. I mean, they kind of recovered.
Yeah.
But really, they never recovered.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
They did have a valiant effort, though, in that third period when they lost 5-1 in Game 6.
Oh, they certainly did. They came back. Yeah.
Came roaring back to make it 5-1.
Terrible. You're a terrible individual for that. It's just terrible.
I love that. All the things Jamie and I both said. That was the one thing that got
They were
you.
skating around with the damn cup.
Yeah.
They were mad at me, too, for saying, I didn't see the end of it. Who won?
Yeah.
They were mad at me.
Ridiculous. We were pissed off on that next day.
All right. Speaking of the Cardinals, can they continue to zag with their pitching staff? I'll explain what that is next on 101 ESPN. Jamie, I always love getting our guy Stewie on the line because he's always got something interesting to add to, anybody looking for a loan, home loan, understand where things are in society. But Stewie, this is interesting. You want to talk about the USDA.
You know what, Anthony? When you think USDA, what do you think? Steaks, right?
Yes. Prime age.
That's right. Rural, prime age, good stuff. And I'm originally from New York. Don't hold that against me. So I never heard of USDA type loans, but there is a USDA mortgage. If you're looking to buy a house in a rural area, the boonies out there, I don't want to say it, but out parts of Troy, Jefferson County, Lincoln County, they're all eligible for it. If you're looking to go out and have a place out there where it's quiet, you can get 100% financing with the USDA loan. 100% financing, little to no PMI, very cheap. Rates are 0.5% better than any conventional loan out there. It's a great opportunity, and with the bagel loan, there'll be no closing costs. So you literally can get into the house with little or no money at all. It's an opportunity. If you want a nice, relaxing place, maybe a lake, hey, maybe even invite me over, and I'll bring the steaks.
There we go.
Nice.
Stewie, you're always invited over, especially if you're bringing steaks. But I do love that you bring all this great information to our 101 ESPN listeners, because I guarantee we have somebody driving around that's got a vision of a nice house out in the country, quiet, maybe 3, 4, 5 dogs, but they don't know how to get to that point. It's easy. Call our guy, Stewie, 314-324-4440.
Again, 314-324-4440.
Call him, text him, ask him any question about the housing market, the lending, all that stuff, refinance, all that stuff. Stewie's our guy. He needs to be your guy. If you can't remember his number, Anthony?
You can always Google the bagel loan. Thanks, Stewie.
Have a good night, guys.
NMLS number 226715.
ESPN has your chance to meet Adam Wainwright at this year's Big League Bash at the Factory July 27th. Our winner will receive 2 tickets to the Big League Bash, featuring Adam Wainwright in concert, along with appearances from Cardinals players and Fred Bird, a silent auction, and more. All to support Big League Impact. Plus, our winner and guest will receive 2 passes to meet Waino prior to the show. Tickets to the Big League Bash, supported by Community America Credit Union, are on sale now. Find all the details.
On 101 ESPN with Andrew Marsh, Carey Davis, and Jamie Rivers. I'm Anthony Stalter. Appreciate everybody being tuned in today. The Cardinals and Cubs open a new series tonight. It's going to be a fun one. 4-game set at Busch Stadium. And, of course, the Cardinals will feature, because most of the rotation is this, several guys that keep the ball on the ground, or try to at least. And, the Cardinals try to continue to win virtually on their defense and their offense. When it comes to the Cardinals basically zagging when everybody else is zigging, do you think they can continue to win this way with their pitching staff being largely ground ball? They've kind of went the opposite way of missing bats, high strikeout. Do you think they can continue to win with at least 3/5 of the rotation, if not four, almost nearly 4 out of the 5 guys winning on the ground as opposed to missing bats.
You mean
like this is sustainable moving forward?
Like for this season,
this
or
season and
long
beyond.
term? Okay,
because I don't know if the Cardinals. It doesn't seem like their farm system is chock full with guys that are just flat out, high velocity swing and miss.
Yeah.
I feel like a lot of the guys they bring up are, this guy's pitched to contact, keeps it on the ground, keeps the ball in the yard. Do you think it's sustainable? I'll take your silence as a no.
I'm doing a deep thought into like Quentin Matthews, Takula Roby, Tink Hence is back. He pitched the other day and had 4 Ks in 4 innings, I think is what he had.
Yeah.
So
he should be somebody that
he could be. He tops out at like 96, 97. Mm-hmm. So, he's got some stuff there. So, I don't know enough though about those guys to sit here and be like, okay, you're definitely going to get more whiff with Quentin Matthews and Tink Hence and Takula Roby.
How about this then? I'll simplify it just this season then. Because we know Fetty's a ground ball guy. We know Palance is. We know that.
I think they can continue to do exactly what they're doing. I do. I mean, it's worked so far. Mm-hmm. Why couldn't it work the rest of the way? Does it get them in the playoffs? I don't know. But it keeps them on a path of being, over a 500 team.
What do you think, Carey? Do you think it's sustainable?
I think that, you don't want the ball being hit because anything can happen, especially if guys are hitting it hard. The exit velo is high. You don't want to have that issue. So I don't think so. I don't think it's sustainable when you don't have pitchers. And I get it, strikeouts, you end up throwing more pitches. But when you have stuff that plays and it's hard to hit, I think it frustrates teams, opponents. I think when they're getting good wood on the ball, I think they eventually feel like, okay, I'm right there. Mm-hmm. And so if you have a team that is constantly pitching to contact, I think at some point that contact is going to be in places where your fielders are not, whether it's in the gaps, seeing eye singles or over the fence. So I don't know that it's sustainable in terms of being able to are we asking in terms of making a playoff push, or are we just saying
playoff push?
I don't think. I mean, this series will be a good test for that. I think the Cubs do a really good job. I think they're a really good team, obviously, and you'll be able to see this staff versus a team, the best team in your division right now. Yeah. So I think you'll have a better understanding of whether or not that is sustainable.
So Zoosh in the Snake Pit says we do have some Gold Glovers behind them. That definitely helps. Splashback Deuce says I think ground balls in play is more sustainable than swing and miss. And the Waterboy says good wood can get you far. I think those are good comments all the way around.
Solid.
A lot of places.
Yep.
Yeah.
I don't know. We've seen. Like Miles Michaelis, for example, he loves to bring out, soft contact, that's baseball, as Jamie likes to point out.
I love that one. Yeah, it's baseball.
He hates that.
I just think there's less room. Is it sustainable? It could be. I just think there's more margin for error when it comes to. I'm sorry, less margin for error when it comes to having guys that. You have a starting staff that is constantly allowing the ball to be put in play. Yes, it's great. You have your defense has been outstanding. If your pitching staff is relying on its defense to make plays, inning after inning after inning, I think at some point you're going to start to see more stressful innings, and then you're going to have issues. But to this point, they've been just fine. I would like to see, just like with the offense, when we talk about, nobody wants to see just home runs anymore. Carey, you like the ball being put in play. You like the small ball stuff. I just think it should be a tool in your toolbox.
I think more things can happen when you put the ball in play because you're putting the pressure on the defense.
Right.
If the ball is hit hard, you got to get there quickly. Like the ball can hit off the heel of your glove. Like it's too many things that can happen when the ball is put in play versus when it's not. Sure. And so if you are a strikeout pitcher, I think you have more success than the guys that constantly, allow the ball to be hit.
I think the Cardinals over the next year, certainly, like if they do make a trade at the deadline, if they move on from Fetty, Matz, Michaelis, Helsley, whatever the case may be, I think they have to get out of their comfort zone. there's a lot of pitchers out there that are the comfort zone, the pitch to contact. They throw it low in the strike zone. It's not a lot of barreling, all this stuff. I think they have to go and find a pitcher that is in the 96 to 100 range, got amazing stuff, but might be a little wild, needs some help. Not consistently hitting the strike zone, but it's a project. The upside of that player could be a massive swing and miss type player. Mm-hmm. The Cardinals that just don't do that. They don't get risky like that.
Right.
But I think that's what they need, because knowing now that you have, for the foreseeable future, Palante, Liberatore, McGreevy, who knows about Graceffo if he comes out of the pen to the rotation, but you got Quinn Matthews, Tink Hence, who's the other guy? Tekoa Roby. Mm-hmm. You've got some you've got enough guys where you're like, I think we've got enough of this category. Let's go get a couple of wild cards and see if we can't mold them into being consistent pitchers because they have massive stuff or high velocity. And then try to add that to your lineup a year or two from now to where now you've got Sonny Gray, if he's still around, in baseball, with the Cardinals. I had to check all the bags there.
Yeah, you did.
But you've got your pitch to contact, and you've got maybe a couple of swing and miss guys.
Yeah, I would just like to see the balance. Zeus says I would definitely like to see more swing and miss, but we don't really have that on our pitching staff. He's right. Sonny Gray is the only one.
Sonny Gray.
Yeah, I do think that having that mixture, you're not going to have 5 guys that are just flamethrowers. I get that. And, Splashback Deuce is being funny / passive aggressive when he says if you want guys that have high pitch counts and a lot of torque on their arms, all that stuff, go ahead and get the swing and miss. I think some element of that is nice. It is felt for a extended period of time now that the starter would go 5, balls in play a lot, and then they're like, let's go to any Cardinal reliever, and he'd come in and it's like more pitch to contact. Yeah. You have to have some swing and miss. It's been fine for now. Mm-hmm. I do have concerns that it's sustainable for the rest of the year, and they can build a playoff experience or a playoff spot out of this. But we'll see. All right, it's Fastlane on 101 ESPN. By the way, Justin's streak unfortunately ended Friday at 8.
Justin.
Donovan got you too at some point? Didn't you have your long? Did you have a long streak, and Donovan?
Think so.
Ruined that for you?
I don't know.
It's all his fault.
Yeah, Brendan Donovan's had a good year.
It was Brendan Donovan, yeah. Went back to the well too many times. Carey did the same thing. Justin went Donovan 2 days or 2 beat the streaks in a row.
But congrats to Justin, because he now is at 8, he's the active leader for listeners in Beat the Streak.
He had a hell of a run.
He had a hell of a run, is right. Yeah. We're just going to say that my comment was somewhat funny, but passive-aggressive. Well read, Anthony. Splashback 2 is hilarious. All right, so we do need a new Beat the Streak contestant, so if you want to play BTS, 314-399-9646, the Air Comfort Service tax line. Feel free to request to play Beat the Streak, and we'll do that and have Bet the Board next on 101 ESPN.
Cheap, fun. Let's get dirty out there, St. Louis, with my friends over at Dirt Cheap. So many amazing things available right now. It's a hot weekend, staying hot all week. Hopefully hot again on the weekend. You need to make sure you get your party favors taken care of, and you need to stop by Dirt Cheap. You've got your Busch Light, your Modelo, Corona, Coors Light, Miller Light, Kent High Noon, the Twisted Tea. How about the Banana Rocket Whiskey? I'm telling you what, unbelievable stuff. And let's not be confused. Dirt Cheap is the price, not the product. I can tell you personally that I get all of my party favors from Dirt Cheap. And one of the things I love is I download the Dirt Cheap Rewards app. And then when you purchase anything, you get rewards for what you're buying. But also, while you're on the app and let's say you're running short on time, you can order ahead. There's curbside pickup, even delivery available, and certain locations have drive-through. And when I talk about locations, they're adding more and more. Fredericktown, Washington, Hillsborough now have locations, and a new location coming soon in Wentzville. Some amazing things going on. We got grad parties still July 4th right around the corner. Maybe you need some stuff for up at the lake. Don't miss out on your chance to get the best deals over at Dirt Cheap. You can also visit their website, cheapcheapfunfun.com. It's a great spot to check out all your things there. Again, they are a one-stop party shop. And remember to have fun, but be careful out there.
ESPN Sports Center.
I'm Andrew Marsh. It's time for a Sports Center update brought to you by Saliga Heating and Cooling. The Cardinals take on the Chicago Cubs tonight, 6:45 first pitch. Matthew Liberatore on the bump for the Cardinals. Ben Brown on the other side for the Cubs. If you missed anything from today's show, make sure you go to 101ESPN.com or check out the free Dobbs Tire and Auto Center's 101 ESPN mobile app. Just head to the podcast page and you'll find all of our shows there, and it's all brought to you by the Schaefer Door Company. We have Beat the Streak and Bet the Board coming up next. I'm Andrew Marsh, and the Sports Center update is brought to you by Saliga Heating and Cooling, a Daikin heating and air conditioning dealer.
Baseballs.
All of my successes depend on me.
You ready to hit?
The hits just keep on coming.
And his first big league hit is a bullet up the middle.
It's Fastlane on 101 ESPN. Time to play Beat the Streak with Carey Davis, Jamie Rivers, and Andrew March. I'm Anthony Stalter. And we welcome in Nick, who is a new listener for us after Justin. His streak ended on Friday with 8. What's up, Nick?
Hey, how's it going?
Doing great, man. Thanks for listening. Thanks for playing. Marsh, what are the latest streaks?
Oh, Anthony, you're going to love this. You have a streak of 9 right now.
Yes.
What? Yeah. Jamie's got a streak of 2.
Yeah.
I have a streak of 1. Carey has a streak of 0.
That's tough.
And, of course, we welcome in Nick for his first opportunity at Beat the Streak.
Okay. All right, boys. 410. I've been pretty good with the I don't think this guy's going to get a hit method. I'm going to go with the guy that's ultimately struggling more than anybody else in the Cardinals lineup. Give me Victor Scott, or as Carey would call him,
Victor Ciani.
Victor Ciani. Yeah.
How you know I wasn't calling Michael Victor Ciani?
Great question. I don't know. I just assumed. Yeah, Victor Scott for me, please. All right. Jamie.
Yeah, Alec Burleson, please.
Marshy.
I am going to go with Wilson Contreras.
Okay. Nick.
I'll go with Mason Witten.
CD.
Kyle Tucker.
Oh, wow. Did you, what? I'm sorry, I missed that. What did you say? Wow. What'd you say? It was quick.
No, say it louder,
yeah,
please.
say it louder, maybe with your chest.
I said Kyle Tucker.
So what?
You got it, Marshy. Time for bet the
He's
board?
a truck driver. I didn't realize any of these guys also drove trucks. You said truck driver?
I said Kyle Tucker.
Oh, what about him? Carey.
Biggest series of the year, he picks the Cubs.
He picks the Cubs.
He's
Wow, I would never do that.
That's unbelievable.
Wow.
It's disappointing more than anything.
I apologize.
Unbelievable.
All right, I went with Victor Scott. Jamie went with Alec Burleson. Marshy went with Wilson Contreras. Nick, our listener, went with Mason Wynn. And
You guys took all the good guys.
completely disrespectful.
Talking about, there's a bunch of other guys in the lineup.
Carey Davis went with Kyle Tucker.
5 other guys.
So weird. Could have went with Donovan.
But with anybody else.
Oh, Brendan Donovan wasn't selected?
No.
Oh, I didn't hear that.
Could have went with the Newt or Nolan Arenado or Nolan Gorman. No. Even a Petey Pages.
Oh,
But CD says, nah, give me Kyle Tucker. Nick, good luck to you, pal. Thanks for playing.
All right, thanks. You guys too.
I like going with the road team, get my hit out the way early.
Wow. Tanisha even says, wow, CD, in the snake pit.
Wow, she's upset.
Walrus King called you a mother trucker.
I think it's Kyle Tucker is actually.
Oh, yeah, no, he said mother Tucker. That's what it is. Yeah. All right.
I agree.
Bet the board. All right, all of us were pretty pathetic on Friday. We went 0 for Gopher. I had a hunch on the Rockies, apparently.
Yeah.
Well, you did. It has happened.
You did.
I know. Carey's hit the Rockies before.
Sure
all right, so Marsh, what's the latest here?
All right, Jamie is in the lead with 10 points. I am right behind him with 9. Anthony, you have 7, and Carey has 5.
All right. This team's won 2 in a row and would like to see them do damage tonight, especially against another NL Central team. Yankees over the Reds, minus 126 on the money line.
Carey, what you did and beat the streak was despicable. Give me the PCA storm days.
No, don't do it.
What? You're up, Jamie. Or you're up, Anthony.
What'd you take?
Pete Crow Armstrong stolen base.
What?
He was actively listening.
That's at plus 300.
You're going plus 300 on that?
Yeah.
And why is that?
Yeah.
Because he's fast.
And
We'll probably get on base. And our catchers have a tough time throwing people out.
there it is.
There it is.
Wow. Okay. You know what? What I'm going to do is I'm going to do something to turn the tide around for the fast lane, because the people out there listening don't have a lot of faith in us right now because of the crap that Carey and Marshy just pulled. Give me the Cardinals plus 100. Give me the Cardinals on the money line. They're going to win this game.
All right, you homer.
Wait. What'd you say? Cardinals what?
Plus 100.
They're minus
I
101.
got minus 101.
Okay,
I mean, that still
Cardinals
works.
minus 101.
Well, what site are you on?
He's on the,
right
he's on the
one.
site.
No, he's not.
doesn't matter.
We're supposed to use the same. You're not.
101, that
It
still
doesn't
works,
matter.
though.
It doesn't matter.
It's a good number.
He just wants
what you guys
Cardinals
don't
money
understand.
line.
No, what you don't understand is there's going to be a time where it doesn't work.
Yeah.
Okay, well,
And he's not on the one specific site we said to use.
Do we want Anthony taking the Cardinals money line?
I guess
He
not.
already did it. You can. It's done. It works. The math is there. I just want to make sure we're all on the same page, guys. Holy crap.
I've never seen you be this passionate about anything.
That's not true. There are certain things I'm very passionate about.
I take that back.
Yes. you should.
There's only one thing I've seen you more passionate about than this.
That's correct.
All right.
Yeah, Jamie loves break the board.
Break the board.
Cardinals
Beat the board.
Cardinals minus 101, Marsh.
What?
Cardinals minus
Give
101.
me Kyle Tucker.
Oh, here he comes.
Doubling. At least
One and a half
I did
hits,
double
runs,
down.
and RBIs.
Doubling down.
And Pete Crow Armstrong.
No.
1.5 hits, RBIs. And Juan Soto and Austin Riley. 1.5 hits, runs, RBIs for all four of those guys.
Wow, Carey.
I'm down.
A little bit of an early
I have
push.
shoot from half court.
Sometimes when you're running a marathon, the guy who kicks first runs out of gas, you know?
The last week, right, Anthony?
Yeah, well,
Yeah,
it
Freedom
is.
Fridays this Friday.
No,
That's
Monday.
it.
But we have Monday
It's over
again, too.
after Friday.
No, it isn't.
It's going to be over for you all.
Well, Carey,
We
you know
have
what,
until the
though?
same day you dye your beard, on the 30th.
Carey,
Thanks for that.
Carey, if that parlay hits, you'll jump into third place.
Not if both of you all lose.
I think you'd still be in third
Not in
place.
second.
You just
Nine.
passed me.
What are you?
I'm at 9.
We'd be tied for second.
Not if Pete steals a base
Man,
tonight.
Pete ain't stealing no damn base. Petey Page is behind.
Did you just burn your parlay to become second place?
Yeah, I was strategic. 'Cause you're going to lose one. I'm going to catch you.
I'm just
I
asking.
can't go 5. You're going to go 4.
4's the number.
4.
4 is the number.
Hey,
That is funny. Like normally when you go to the parlay, you kind of go for broke.
That's a bad. It's a bad
You're
idea.
just looking to get back
I
in
got
the
to
game.
get back into the game. I know what I'm doing.
That is really funny.
Yeah.
All right, we'll wrap up the show next on 101 ESPN. If you missed anything from today's show, you can always download the podcast available at 101ESPN.com or on the Dobbs Tire and Auto Center's 101 ESPN mobile app. All the podcasts, of course, brought to you by Schaefer Door Company. Time to find out what everybody learned today, starting with our guy, Carey Davis.
I learned that we respect everyone's time when it's their time to talk. Unless your bet the board pick is at minus 150 and you want everybody to shut the fast lane up so you can get it in. You all were talking too much.
Yeah,
I need to get my pick in
Carey's panicked
before
there.
it changed. It's going to be frustrated. Don't you look at me like that, Jamie. You've done it too. You know the frustration when you bet something, then you hit refresh and it changes? Yeah. Stop talking.
If you have a problem with it, Carey, you should probably be in the lead so you can pick first.
Oh.
You know what? Next time I'm in the lead, I'm going to just take my damn time.
Oh, dang. You know he will, too. Carey loves spite.
Yeah.
All right, Jamie.
I learned Carey Davis is a big Cubs fan today. That's what I learned.
Yeah.
Not only did he pick a Cubs player to get the hit, but he also picked a Cubs player to get the 1.5 RBI. Like
he loaded up on the Cubs.
He did everything except bet against the Cardinals.
Yeah.
Marshy, who did you pick for your bet the board?
I went with a double play today.
Nah, don't think that's what you did. The Cubs double play.
No, I picked Pete Armstrong.
Stolen base.
Yeah, it doesn't mean he's got to score.
Plus 300.
He'll probably walk and steal a base,
There
and
you
then,
go.
the Cardinals get out of it.
You know what,
You
but
walk.
honestly,
I never said he had to score.
I still don't like the
chances of you
negativity
coming
toward our
around
Cardinals.
scoring.
I don't like it at all, but
Very high
double down,
probability.
which is a bigger problem for
No,
me.
we have full segments about how the catchers can't throw anybody out. But I pick one guy because he
Led
can
by
steal a
Carey.
base.
The position is called catcher.
They got to catch the ball first.
There you go.
We have a hard time
Throw
doing
a
that.
guy out.
Marsh?
I learned that Doug Armstrong continues to have the best one-liners in press conferences.
Yeah, he certainly does.
So good at
He
it.
is very good. I learned that nobody outside of me, maybe his own mother, cares about Sam Darnold. Talk about how he's got something to prove, and you thought he once again repeated that India is in Africa. That's the reaction I got from you guys.
It just was surprising, that's all.
Very surprising. So the way
Said
you
all the
reacted.
guys that were available.
Man,
All of the quarterbacks in the entire world.
I didn't
They
realize
all
how
have something to prove, but we just didn't think he'd go to Sam Darnold.
Yeah.
Definitely didn't think it was Sam Darnold.
My bad on that. Marshy,
Yeah.
to you.
Man, this is tough. From 618. Carey, I don't envy you at all. Carey thinks he's funny betting on Kyle Tucker and Pete Crow Armstrong, but I don't think it's funny. And I guarantee he just alienated himself to more Cardinals fans than he knows.
It's what you don't know, 618. I've been alienated from the Cardinal fans for a while now. Can't be more alienated. I wear the blue glasses. They don't give a damn what I think.
Yeah, but now you're wearing Cubs blue glasses.
I would never root for the Cubs.
Well, you kind of are.
Nah, I didn't root for them.
Yeah,
Certain individuals tonight you are, but
for their success offensively against
the Cardinals.
Carey's defense.
The Cardinals score a lot of runs.
Well, I was going to say, you've been really bad at Bet the Board this month.
Carey, taking some shots in this segment, boy.
Wow. Take a knee, Carey. You need to stand the
He's
8
not
count.
wrong. I've been
So he's doing you a favor, St. Louis.
Wow.
done it before.
Carey's like,
Yeah.
still standing. Waterboy, by the way, says, I learned that if cleavage is an option, Jamie is always going to pick it.
Correct.
Ledoux Lawn Boy says, Anthony, we missed you. Great show, boys.
Hey, thank you. I appreciate it. Good to be back. Thank you.
Absolutely. You guys ready for the 3 stars of the day?
Yes, sir.
It's time for the Fast Lane's 3 Stars of the Day. Presented by Circus Sports Illinois. Sports betting the way it should be.
Well, our 3rd star of the day goes out to the tendency of certain minerals to break along specific planes of weakness in their crystal structure, resulting in smooth, flat surfaces. And gentlemen, we call that cleavage.
All right.
Yes.
Who wouldn't?
Earlier today, Star Wars got brought up in one of those films. It's called Return of the Jedi. But how about the return of Anthony Stalter? Second star of the day.
Marsh, thank you.
Back, Anthony.
And with Anthony comes the oddest takes, which leads us to our 1st star of the day. Sam Darnold.
I should have saw that coming.
He totally
I should have
just
saw that coming. You know,
He propped you up so you were a bigger target, and then just nailed you.
He went to the right only to set up the left.
Yeah, he basically said, I'm not going to take my shot at him sitting down. So, Anthony, please stand up.
Please stand up.
So we can celebrate you.
Yes.
So I can knock you down while you're standing.
Yeah.
It hurt more when you hit your head. Again. Yep.
That didn't occur, though, this week.
No, I think
we don't know that for sure.
We don't know that.
I didn't get injured. I didn't get injured this week. Yeah. Splashback Deuce was asking that.
Proud of you.
I stayed on my feet. Kept my head out of walls.
It's a good start.
Yeah. At least I don't think I hurt myself.
Maybe you don't remember.
I may have. Yeah. No,
I'll have to
everybody.
ask Kristen.
Yeah. Actually,
what are you doing? Again?
Actually, I took a rock to the temple. It's out for 3 days.
Killian working on his arm.
Killian.
Don't realize it.
He's a lefty, a little wild.
Yeah.
All right. Appreciate everybody listening today throughout the course of the show. We got an instant replay coming up from 6 to 7. Boy, in a couple of days, we got the NBA draft, day 1 and day 2. Jamie, you're going to be locked into that, man.
Can't wait.
Yeah. Who do you think's going to go 10th overall?
Yeah, that guy from Duke.
He's going first.
Not the other guy.
The other guy. Somebody from Duke will be taken with the 10th pick.
It's always the right answer.
So we got Cardinals and Cubs conversations throughout the day. Tomorrow, maybe get into more Doug Armstrong and, I don't know, just a whole bunch of stuff. You never know what you're going to hear in the fast lane. Probably a lot of dinosaurs. Andrew Marsh, for Carey Davis, for Jamie Rivers, I'm Anthony Stalter. See you.